Hello, everybody. Welcome to Clockwork Cantina, episode 40. Holy cow.
The big 4-0. Hello, everyone.
Big 4-0. I am one of your hosts, Josh902, and this is our other host.
And I am DT3. Hello, everyone.
Hope everyone is having a okay day, a good day, I hope, out there. Yeah, man. Been a week, huh?
Yeah, it's been certainly, yeah.
Today's topic, we're gonna talk about games we want remade in our second half. I know I have some together. I know Daniel has some together because we were chatting about it last night before bed.
I have like basically I have like two sections. I got like a section, or I got a few of like games that I have played that I want remade, and then I got like some that I have not played, but if they were remade, I would like absolutely play, you know.
Yep, yeah, I'm kind of the same.
That's kind of how my split up.
I look forward to see if we have any that are similar or the exact same even.
Same, yeah. I'm gonna be curious about that as well. You know, it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, and I really hope that I have some stuff on here, and I hope Daniel does too. Has some things on here where I'm just like, I have never heard of this. I'm gonna check it out. I want that to be a thing.
Right? So, yeah, it'll be fun, man. That's always like some of the best stuff right there. It's like, what is that? Oh shit, that's cool as hell.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't remember that. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get started. What have you been up to this past week, my friend? What you watching, seeing?
Dude, I've been playing and watching a bunch of stuff. There was a Minecraft server set up, so I've been playing on that with a bunch of friends and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing some Overwatch, played some Overwatch on stream, made some more progress in Chimera Squad. Still not done with the damn game yet, but I think I'm close. I'm like real close, I think.
It seems to get a lot of meat to it since you've been playing.
Yeah, man.
I haven't played it too much.
There's a lot of missions, man. I'm trying to beat it and get through it now, man. But yeah, I've been playing that. I've watched a bunch of movies again. I watched Little Women. I watched Marriage Story. I watched Uncut Gems, which holy shit, that movie, dude. I watched Under the Skin, which has a lot of naked Scarlett Johansson.
Oh damn.
And then I watched the new episode of the Mandalorian gallery documentary, which is really good. They have Werner Herzog talking about how heartbreakingly beautiful the baby was. Like it's great. His whole part is fantastic in that. And then there's somebody who just started the Clone Wars for the first time, so I was watching a few episodes with them, and that was pretty cool. Going through it from the beginning, it's so crazy looking at like how different the animation was early on compared to like the newest season. Like the newest season, the animation is like phenomenal, and then looking back on season 1, like it's not terrible in season 1, but it's like, man, you can tell like the difference, dude, from like season 1 to like season 7. It's wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been up to this past week. Yeah, man, just watching stuff, playing stuff, you know how it goes.
Yeah. I haven't watched anything this week. I have played some World of Warcraft. A lot of it actually. Which I've just been just doing stuff with my main character, I didn't raid Tuesday. I guess we could just talk about it. I ended up going to the hospital Tuesday night. I woke up from a nap and had chest pains, like right here, right on the left side of the chest, and I tried to think, oh, this will go away, and it wasn't going away. So I ended up going to the hospital. I walked up to my parents' house, and they drove me and to get checked out, which they won't let you in the hospital, by the way. They won't let anybody in with you. It's just you because of all the Rona shit going on.
Yep.
They check your temperature at the door, and then they took me right back and gave me like an EKG, and they're like, hey, your heart's fine, but we're worried about your blood pressure. And they took x-rays too, because they want to take x-ray of everything that's up in your upper chest area. And the reason I ended up having to stay for like 3 hours is when they looked at the x-ray, it showed my lungs as cloudy, and that scared them. It made them think that I had pneumonia or the start of pneumonia. So I'm having to take these antibiotics that I have right here. So they did some tests. See, what I was thinking was, oh my god, heart attack. What they were thinking was, oh my god, he's got the Rona and has pneumonia. Which I didn't realize until I got home. I was like, we were thinking two completely different things, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, man.
But it turns out everything is okay, mostly. My blood pressure was really high because I had an anxiety-like attack when this was happening, as you would when something like this is going on, I guess.
Yeah.
So they gave me some nitroglycerin, by the way, which is a trip. This stuff is like, you hold it under your tongue and it dissolves. It's just a little pellet. It's like really small. It's like really tiny, and you literally feel yourself get lightheaded because it's bringing your blood pressure down so quickly. It's weird. It's trippy. So after 3 hours at the hospital, I come home, and I ended up going to bed early. And then the rest of the week has just felt weird ever since that happened, you know? It's like, did that even really happen? It's just weird. It's strange thing. But yeah, I've been taking my antibiotics. I gotta take one more tomorrow, and then I'll be done with those.
Cool, man.
What an experience that was. Not very fun.
Yeah, well,
I don't recommend
fortunately, everything turned out all right, man. That's good stuff. That's the good news right there.
Yeah, until I get that hospital bill and really have a heart attack.
Right.
If you can't laugh at it, what can you do? But yeah, luckily Daniel is not gonna have to take over Clockwork Cantina all on his own. I'm still alive and kicking. Which I would want you to carry on, by the way, just in case something ever happened. I want you to do it in remembrance of your boy. But no, everything turned out okay. It's turning out okay, but I will say, never take chances. If you get like scared or something's going on, and you're like, you know, I should really probably go get this checked. Go do it. I did. Even if it turned out to be nothing and I felt foolish, I don't give a fuck. I'm alive. That's all that matters. So,
Yeah.
I may have felt like a fool, but I'm a live fool, damn it.
Exactly, man. Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, not too much in the gaming stuff. I tried out Old World, which some of you know I bought on. See, Epic Game Store's having this sale. I think we've talked about it previously, but I'll mention it again just in case. Where you buy something with and you have a $10 coupon. And so you can, if it's over $14.99, you get $10 off. You can use the coupon on it. And I bought a couple things a while back. I haven't played them yet, but I tried out Old World for one thing, which is kind of like a Civ. Actually, let me pull up a little trailer for you, and we'll play that while we talk about it. How about that?
All right. Might as well, right?
Old World. We saw this at E3 last year, I want to say. We saw it somewhere. I remember that. I don't remember exactly where it was at, but that's a walkthrough trailer. It actually show gameplay. There's an actual trailer for this. But we'll play the walkthrough. Fine. So the basic gameplay of it is that it's kind of like Civ. It's a lot like Civ. Which, as you see this map here, it looks very much like Civ. But it also takes some of the best things from the Total War games, and some of the best things from Crusader Kings. So, for example, you start off picking a leader like in Civ, right? And they all have these little things. However, your leaders get old and die after around 30 turns, and you get married and you have kids, and then your kids kind of take over. And they get traits and get trained depending on how you tutor them, which there are tutors, which are, I want to say is from Crusader Kings. So if there's a thing where you can have tutors, I can't remember exactly. I think that's a Crusader Kings thing. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's in early access, I should say that. So it's still getting changes and things to it, but I've had a lot of fun, and with the little few hours that I played of it, I figured I'd mention it and show it. Um, it kind of does the things I like, which I like, kind of like the idea of having a dynasty. I like the idea of having like little mini quests and event things pop up in the gameplay, and have to make decisions that can change things. So those are a lot of fun. I always like those. Things like that bring me back to the game more. And I also like that your kids age up and they also get their own little avatar pictures as they do.
Oh damn, look at that.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. I look forward to playing it some more. I look forward to playing it when it's completely done. But so far, I recommend checking it out if you're into a Civ game, because it's basically Civ with more stuff on it. I mean, the UI alone is like it's copy pasted, like almost the exact same.
Oh yeah, kids going to taverns and fucking starting bar fights or whatever.
Yeah, my I played last night, and we were sitting in voice chat, and I was like, I had my 13-year-old kid got killed in a tavern, got hit by a vase or something, and bled to death, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's some savage shit, dude.
Yeah, dude, it was not
fucked up.
No bueno. I did the tutorial for moving on. By the way, I did the tutorial for Outward. Just the tutorial. I haven't actually started the main game yet. So I'm not gonna talk about it a whole lot. I am gonna play the trailer while we talk about it though. It feels very Dark Souls. I'll give it that. I've actually not watched anybody play this, by the way, other than like snippets here and there. But I think I'll actually like it once I actually start playing the game.
Yeah, that one definitely looks like something that I would enjoy too.
Yeah, and this is co-op, I think, so you can like get 2 people to play. Look at that sword, that looks cool. That actually looks really pretty. But yeah, I did play some Outward. Just a tutorial though, and there's a lot of game systems in it. So you have to make camps. You gotta. The one thing I don't like is you gotta repair. You can repair. Well, at least you can repair your gear. Your gear has durability and it can break, which I don't usually like in games. But as long as you don't have to get like a whole bunch of crap to repair your gear, I don't really care that much.
Right.
You can only carry so much stuff in your backpack, and your backpacks affect how you do in combat. So when you start a fight, it's a good idea to drop your backpack, which you can do. You like drop it and then immediately start fighting. It's funny, you like reach back and undo a snap and it falls off like in a fucking action movie where somebody gets their ass whooped, you know? Yeah. But yeah, I look forward to checking this out, and I might check this out on stream.
It looks cool, man. Yeah, definitely. Looks pretty neat.
So I lied when I said I've only played WoW this week, so that's not true. I have played a little bit more. but WoW has been my main focus. Although I think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna put a little less focus on WoW because there's not a whole lot to do. Other than raid, and we're clearing raids in 2 days now instead of the usual 3. And I think the guild is going to be going on a raid break soon-ish. I'll still play it and level up alts and stuff, but other than that, I'm not going to be spending a whole lot of time on there. There's other things I want to play.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to play, man.
Yep.
There's so much, and then there's like obviously more stuff coming out all the time, dude. It's like, damn.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. The other thing is I'm looking into getting a new PC. I don't know. I've been having a debate on if I want to build it, which I don't really have the room for, to be honest. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, I don't really have the space. And you're sitting here like, Josh, how much space do you need? Well, I actually need more than what I have, which is very little space to build a new PC. So I may just do what I did before and just buy one straight up and eat the cost on it. And we'll see. I don't know for sure if I'm going to do that. I do want to get a capture card in it, I know that. I want to get a stream deck and all that stuff as well. And go all out, because a stream deck would be super helpful because of all the production.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, that's what I keep telling you, that a stream deck for you would be really useful. I want to get one for myself as well eventually, but I feel like, yeah, for the stuff that you do, I feel like it would be really useful for you in particular.
Yeah. As well as I really want to redo the OBS settings and all that stuff I have set up.
Yeah.
And kind of just completely rework everything. Which, yeah, I hope I would be able to do within time of a show. We'd have to see. I wouldn't cancel the show. It would just be like, we don't have graphics. Deal with it, kind of deal. But yeah, that's all I've been up to this week. Thinking about the new PC, and played those games.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's all we got for our opening segment. We have very much news this week, my friend.
I got more gaming and movie than TV. TV is not a whole lot.
What's our next show? 6th. We're gonna have announcements that day. I believe there's gonna be some announcements that day, so maybe we can talk about that as they happen.
They absolutely will be, yeah.
Yeah.
So
the news is coming, especially the gaming news.
It is, yeah. But speaking of gaming news, let's just hop right into that, man. Let's get into it.
All right. Ooh.
What?
Sorry, we'll be able to talk about the PS5 on the next podcast because they have a thing for.
Well, since you brought it up, let's get into it.
I just saw that when I looked at the
PlayStation tweeted out. PlayStation tweeted out something yesterday, in the morning time, like early in the morning, that basically it was a little video, like a short 10-second video, showing off the I was gonna say DualShock 5. That's not what it's called. The new DualSense controller.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, "Play PS5, the future of gaming. Join us June 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific. PlayStation.com/PS5."
Aw, shit.
So June 4th. Obviously, by next week we will have seen whatever this is, and we'll be able to talk about it next week. But
I have a little bit of an article from the PlayStation blog. It's just short.
Okay.
I can read it for you. It says, with each generation from the first PlayStation to PlayStation 4, we aim higher and we push boundaries further to try and deliver better experiences for our community. This has been the mission of the PlayStation brand for more than 25 years, a mission I've been a part of since nearly the beginning. This is from Jim Ryan, by the way, President and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. I should have started with that. There are a few things as exciting as the launch of a new console. While this road to launch has been a bit different, we are as thrilled as ever to bring you with us on this journey to redefine the future of video games. We've shared technical specifications and shown you the new DualSense wireless controller. But what is a launch without games? That's why I'm excited to share that we'll soon give you a first look at the games you'll be playing after PlayStation 5 launches this holiday. The games coming to PS5 represent the best in the industry from innovative studios that span the globe. Studios both larger and smaller. Those newer and those more established, all have been working hard at work developing games that will showcase the potential of the hardware. The digital showcase will run a bit more than an hour, and for the first time, we'll be all together virtually experiencing this excitement together. A lack of physical events has given us an amazing opportunity to think differently and bring you on the journey with us, and hopefully closer than ever before. This is part of our series of PS5 updates, and rest assured, after next week's showcase, we will still have much to share with you. Please join us on Twitch or YouTube on June 4th at 1 p.m. Pacific time to see what's in store for the next generation of games. I hope we can make you proud, Jim Ryan. So, we're going to be seeing games, son.
I was thinking about it right now as you were reading all that. I'm probably going to stream that.
Hell yeah.
On my channel. So I don't know if you want to do like a co-stream of that, but I'm definitely going to be
I might just hang out with you and we can react together and stuff. That might be what we.
All right, that's fine with me, man. So we'll be doing that, and then obviously we'll be talking about it on the podcast here next week. So
yeah,
that'll be fun. Yeah, I'm excited, man.
I
I'm
can't wait
excited.
to see what they come up. Maybe, you know what? Everything on our list is gonna that we're getting remade is gonna be on there because we're gonna will
Dude,
it into
I
existence.
I will hope so, man. If anybody at PlayStation is watching this, I got some PlayStation games on here that you guys could remake. All right.
I got some things on here too.
Anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later. But
Yeah.
I'm excited for this PlayStation 5. Look at the games that they're going to be having here.
Yeah.
Uh, Another thing that I want for the PlayStation 5. This is like very minor, but like I would love it if they went back to like an intro, kind of like to the PS1 days.
Mhm.
Remember like when you turn on the PS1 and make that little noise and you see the oh dude, I love that shit, man.
Here's a
It's so
question.
good.
Since we're still talking about the PS5, if there was a game,
Oh,
is there a game above all others that you just love to see on a launch title? Maybe something that hasn't seen the light of day in a while, hasn't had a sequel in a while, or something like that. Is there anything out there that would do it for you?
ooh, that's a really good question, man. Um, Trying to think. That is like specifically a PlayStation game or like just anything.
Uh, let's lean toward PlayStation, I guess, since it is the PS.
Okay. All right. So like a PlayStation franchise that I would love to see come back. That's oh man, that's a good question, dude. I'm trying to think like on the spot here
I
because
know, I know. It was a question that just popped in my head, and I put you
no,
on it.
no, it's a good one though. Man, I'm trying to think. Maybe like a. I mean, honestly, like I would love to see like a. I, hmm. Because I was gonna mention some, but like for example, like medieval is like a PS1 type deal that would be cool if they made more games for.
Hmm.
They came out with like a remaster of the original one last year for PS4, and I still haven't played it, but I really want to. I will at some point. And then another game that they did like years ago was a like kind of Smash Bros type clone called PlayStation All Stars, which is pretty much like a Smash Bros but with just PlayStation characters. If they did a new version of that, that'd be kind of cool. I'm trying to think, man.
Um,
There's a few other older ones I was never like huge on Twisted Metal, but like what if they did like a new Twisted Metal, right? Or like
yeah.
uh, or another franchise that I never really played, but like was huge in the PS3 days was like the Resistance franchise. I never really played those games, but like I don't know. Uh, Sly Cooper, another one that I never really played, but that would be interesting. I'm not really sure, man. Like that,
I got, I
I have
got
to think
one.
about that one a little bit more. What's
I
yours?
got one, but it started on the PlayStation, PlayStation 2. However, it did years later come out on the Xbox, many years later. Um, what I'd love to see the return of, and I think you could easily do it nowadays, especially with things like Dark Souls and Sekiro and Ghost of Tsushima coming, which is Tenchu. I don't know
Mm,
if you ever played the Tenchu games, but they were stealth, like ninja games, action adventure stealth ninja games that were. I remember them being hard, but then I was really young when I played them, and probably too young to play them, to be honest. Um, where you picked between Rikamaru or Ayame, these two ninja, and you'd stealth around and murder the fuck out of some samurai dudes. Um, and there hasn't been like a new Tenchu since forever, and I would love to see a return of Tenchu personally.
that'd be interesting.
If they announced something like that and showed it at this
The thing that they're doing, yeah,
yeah, and
yeah, that'd be
it's
cool. I
from
mean,
Software who did Sekiro, so.
yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting.
So I'm definitely down for some Tenchu if that ever comes around.
Yeah, I never played those, but I know we've talked about those in the past. For
Yeah, I was a big fan of them back in the day. They were a lot of fun. Mostly just the stealth kill animations were they were so brutal and dope. There was one I think they did like there was a Tenchu 2, I want to say, and you could play as a character that was a doctor, and he would literally like thrust his hands into a dude's back and break his spine, and they would show like an X-ray of it. Oh my goodness, I remember this so vividly because it was sick and super violent. But yeah, I would love a return of Tenchu.
Cool.
Which I guess Sekiro is kind of like Tenchu, but not.
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
I love those off the cuff questions out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And if you, in bonus question, if you want to know what I want for the Xbox, it's a new Fable game. Boom. There you go.
All right, well, we can move on to the next thing here, which is continuing with PlayStation. We have the PlayStation Plus games of the month for June.
Oh, damn.
And the first one is Call of Duty World War II. And then the second one, also a sequel, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Both going to be free next month for PlayStation Plus, if you are a member of that.
Your FPS on in June.
Exactly. There's going to be a lot of FPS, man, both Battlefront and Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into that kind of stuff, I'll probably personally, I already own. I bought Battlefront 2 when it came out. Like, I pre-ordered that game, so I already have that. But Call of Duty, like, will I ever play it? Who knows? But it's a free game, so I'll take it. You know.
Is that the one that's got Kiefer Sutherland in it? World War II?
I am not sure. I played some of the online for that one, but I never played the story.
Because I never played it either. Or is that World? There's so many Call of Duties nowadays.
Yeah, I no. You're thinking of maybe World at War.
Yeah, I'm thinking of that one.
Which that one I did play. That one was that one's from forever ago. No, World War II is a more recent game.
Gotcha. That tells you how little I've played Call of Duty lately.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, those are the two free games for next month, and we can move on to the next news, which is let's talk about. We were mentioning earlier about how there's going to be a lot of gaming news next week. So let's talk about some of the big video game events happening this summer without E3 2020 to be around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Starting in June, from June 6th to the 8th, we have the Guerrilla Collective. More than a dozen game companies, including Paradox Interactive, Larian Studios, Funcom vs. Evil, Coffee Stain Studios are teaming up with Media Indie Exchange and Kinda Funny Games for Guerrilla Collective, a day-long showcase created in collaboration with the PC Gaming Show and the Future Games Show. The day of reveals and gameplay previews will kick off the Guerrilla Collective Live, hosted by Greg Miller at 10 a.m. PT on June 6th. At 12 p.m. Pacific that same day, the PC Gaming Show will air, followed by the Future Game Show at 2:30 p.m. The whole thing will be broadcast on Twitch. So that's from the 6th to the 8th. And then the Steam Game Festival from June 9th to the 14th. Valve is bringing back its Steam Game Festival. Within what would have been the week of E3, obviously. And it promises limited time demos or short playable experiences from upcoming games and a chance to connect with participating developers of those games. June 11th, we have the EA Play Live. EA Electronic Arts is turning its annual showcase into a digital event. EA Play Live broadcast will feature game reveals, updates, community content, and more. Viewers can tune in on Thursday, June 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern, EA's website. June 11th, that same day, we have the Cyberpunk 2077 Night City Wire. The highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077 will be the focus of the live stream from the CD Projekt Red. Details are scant, but expect the developer to do another deep dive in the game ahead of its September 17th release. June 22nd and July 20th, both of those days, which are like a month apart from each other. Day of the Devs. Double Fine Productions, I Am 8-Bit, and the Game Awards creator Jeff Keighley will hold two separate developer showcase events, one on June 22nd and another on July 20th. Both events will be live streamed and feature gameplay, news, and musical performances. Developers and publishers confirmed to appear include Okupara Games, Annapurna Interactive, The Behemoth, Finji, Kowloon Knights, Longhand Electric, MWM Interactive, Panic, Sabotage Studios, Skybound Games, Team 17, That Game Company, Trivia Games, and Us 2 Games. June 23rd, New Game Plus Expo. It's going to bring 14 developers and publishers, many of which are headquartered in Japan, for an event live stream on Twitch on June 23rd from 12 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Confirmed to appear are companies like Sega, Arc System Works, NIS America, SNK, Spike Chunsoft, and Koei Tecmo. June 24th, Marvel's Avengers War Table stream. Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics Avengers game is still on track for a September 4th release, and we'll get an update on Marvel's Avengers on June 24th with a dedicated live stream that promises new gameplay and co-op. Bit Summit Gaiden, June 27th to 28th. Japanese indie developers Bit Summit in Kyoto showcase their wares. So yeah, pretty much they're gonna be showing off their stuff. And then obviously we have a few things in July, like the Xbox Games Studios Showcase, which has no date, but it's to be determined. Ubisoft Forward, which is gonna be all the Ubisoft stuff. They're gonna be showing off things like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and they're gonna give updates on delayed games like Watch Dogs Legion and Rainbow Six Quarantine. They're expected to have a packed event. This will take place at 3 p.m. Eastern on July 12th. Evo Online is going to have a tournament July 4th through the August 2nd. Gamescom is opening on August 27th. And the Gamescom, as we know, is Germany's like big old gaming convention that they do. Obviously, they will not have a physical event this year because of what's going on. But of course, they'll still be doing it online, like most other things. And Jeff Keighley will produce the live event, and of course, they'll have reveals and stuff. So that's pretty much what we have looking forward to for the next few months here, from June to August. Any of that sound interesting to you? You're gonna what are you most looking forward to out of all that stuff?
Probably the Cyberpunk thing. Just because it's not that far away, and I imagine some of the stuff that they're going to be showing will be a little bit far away on all those other conferences, little meetings, virtual, all the virtual events, all the events, I should say. It's so weird trying to find the right words because you're used to E3 being like the conferences. But yeah, probably the Cyberpunk thing the most. What about you?
For me, it would have to be. I'm curious about the EA one because there's been rumors that they're going to announce a new Star Wars game called Project Maverick.
Yeah.
Which the rumor is that it's going to be like a flight sim type thing, but we'll see. But it's called Project Maverick, Star Wars Project Maverick, something like that. So I'm curious about the EA one for something like that.
I'm definitely curious about that as well.
Cyberpunk obviously was going to be fun. Looking forward to seeing how that game is. I wonder if they'll show off the customizable stuff and whatever else they're going to do. Avengers, I'm looking forward to that one too because that's a game that I'm interested in. Ubisoft one as well, just because I'm curious. I'm interested in some of their games like Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah, I want to hear more about Watch Dogs, man. We haven't talked about it that much.
That game was delayed, man, like for so long, right?
Yeah.
Like wasn't it supposed to come out like early this year or something? Like
I think.
Like either way, like I'm looking forward to hearing about more of that. And yeah, and then of course Gamescom is gonna be cool too because I'm always looking forward to like new reveals and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be in August. But yeah, we got a lot of cool, interesting things coming on. And then obviously we talked about the PlayStation one coming up here within like some next week, so that wasn't on this list, but I'm looking forward to that one too. Moving on. Here's another event that has been canceled. BlizzCon 2020.
Rip.
No longer happening. Obviously with everything going on. Yeah.
How many?
So they say that they announced via blog post that that they're canceling the BlizzCon this year. They had a lot of discussions, and obviously, ultimately, they ended up canceling it. Uh, my thing is like they're not even gonna do like a virtual event or anything like that either.
I imagine not.
Like,
I think a
if they
lot
do
of their
anything,
a
oh,
lot
go
of
ahead.
the things they do at BlizzCon are really fan interactive. They have like Q&As and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I imagine the new WoW X Pack's gonna launch possibly before this BlizzCon, or what would have been this BlizzCon, I should say. Um, so I imagine, like, even though they're not gonna have like a virtual thing, there still will be a lot of talking with the community. I imagine that's probably gonna come out either before it or after it or somewhere in that time frame. Um, as far as Diablo and all that other stuff, I have no clue. They might come out with something since they just announced the cancellation of BlizzCon. They might come out with like, yeah, we're gonna do a virtual thing at the end of the year or something later. I'd imagine. Um, I will say that this is the first BlizzCon that they've canceled since like 2012. They didn't have one in 2012, so
Oh,
that's like
what
crazy.
happened then that they canceled it?
I don't think it was canceled. I think they just didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if they just didn't have a lot of stuff to show off that year or what. I remember them not having it, but I don't remember exactly why. um.
Okay.
Also, the tickets for BlizzCon are ridiculous. It has all the prices through each year, and it's like they started off at $100, and last year's BlizzCon they were 230. Ugh. And it's climbed every year, every BlizzCon. Whew.
Yikes.
Expensive.
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 Anyway,
Buy a BlizzCon, no BlizzCon, no shit.
nope. All right. So let's talk about a game that is an older one.
Okay.
Which is like the main topic of today. We're gonna be talking about a lot of older games that you know that are gonna be coming back, or we would like to see come back. But this one is actually coming back. You remember the game Toy Soldiers?
I do.
That's getting a World War II sequel.
That sounds cool, actually.
Yeah, man. So it was announced that Toy Soldiers is getting a World War II sequel, which the first one was set in obviously World War One.
The Trench Warfare.
Yeah.
I remember playing it. My nephew loved it. My dad played that game. Oh, man.
So they announced on, I believe it was Facebook, uh, that Toy Soldiers 2 Finest Hour uh, is gonna be coming. So for those interested in that game, that's gonna be
They have a
coming
trailer or
out.
anything for that?
I'm not sure.
I don't know either. I remember hearing the announcement. I don't know if they had a
I don't
trailer.
I don't think so.
I'll do a quick YouTuber search here and just.
I don't believe so. But yeah. There is. Oh, here. There's
There's like a trailer for a HD version and like the Cold War thing that they had for the
Oh,
Switch.
here.
Yeah.
Look at this. Boom, put it in the chat.
Our finest hour. Oh, they got like a little.
They have a little video there, and then they have like some screenshots and stuff.
I gotcha. Boy Soldiers 2, the finest hour. Our boys in green are landing on the battlefield. I'm gonna give you the voiceover because we can't play with sound.
Finest hour.
Our finest hour. Here we have a armored tank division moving on the beaches of Normandy. Oh my god. It's trippy. It's trippy because they're toys, and then it's like, man, that's so dark. That dude's pumping on his chest on the fucking beach. You know?
Yeah, man, these toy soldiers are hardcore, bro.
Yeah, they hard as a motherfucker. I'm gonna play that. I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna play that. I like the first one a lot.
Apparently, it's coming to the Switch, the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC.
Oh, this is a good Switch game. You can get it on Switch, carry it around with you.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to. The thing is, you don't have to worry about graphics with this game because I mean, look, it's toys, right? Like it's all a little small.
There's gonna be an HD remake of the original one as well.
That's cool.
So that's
Create and deploy your own scenario. Oh, they got a creator mode. That's cool.
So yeah, that's something that's coming out.
When does it say when the HD version coming out on the Switch? Is it gonna be like all?
I don't believe they said when.
Okay, I got you.
It's just like they're doing.
I'm gonna buy that.
They're doing a remake for like the 10th anniversary or something, and then like they're coming out with the second game. So we'll see when. But, yeah. Moving on. They announced the newest update for Dead by Daylight.
Oh yes.
And here's a little quick little 40-second official trailer for that. This is going to be interesting because I'll be getting into more about this a little bit later. But
yeah, I saw this.
They
I know who it is.
Yep. If you don't know, if you're watching this and you don't know who it is, yeah, you're gonna see all right. Yeah, so it's obviously very dark, very like what's going on. Dead by Daylight is usually
There's your reveal.
Oh boy.
It's Dead by Daylight, Silent.
So Dead by Daylight is doing a Silent Hill crossover.
You're getting your Pyramid Head, yo.
Yep, Pyramid Head is coming, along with so what Dead by Daylight always does is they always do like a killer, a survivor, and then a map.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a killer, a survivor, and a map. And for this one, obviously they're collaborating with Silent Hill. The new killer, which they call the Executioner, which everyone else knows as Pyramid Head, and then the new survivor, Cheryl Mason, and then the map I believe is called the Midwich Elementary School.
Nothing like getting murdered in school.
Right. So yeah, this is I know there's some people out there who are pretty excited about this. I have never played the Silent Hill games.
Same.
So there's not much I can dish out on this because I just don't know. Like I'm just not like too knowledgeable on it. Like the only thing that I did know was that this dude was Pyramid Head. But other than that, I couldn't tell you shit about Silent Hill or anything.
Have you ever seen the movie? There's a Silent Hill movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie or I haven't played any of the games. So
you should watch the first movie. You should group watch it. I think
that's what I hear. Yeah, I was streaming like Overwatch last week, and then when this news came out that day, and then we were talking about it, and yeah, they were telling me that I should watch the first movie. The second movie's trash. I should at least watch the first one though.
Yeah.
which I probably will at some point. But
The whole reason I've never played them before is they came out in a time where I was too young and would not play scary games. I still don't like to play scary games. I'll admit it. I'm a 29-year-old man. I still don't like to play scary games really that much. I don't like being scared. I was watching somebody else talk about this, and they were like, "Man, they need to add Chucky to Dead by Daylight," and I'm like, "Oh fuck, no, they don't."
dude, I was saying that too. I was like, wouldn't it
Uh-uh.
be? Wouldn't that shit be like something if you see a little tiny shit running after you trying to kill
No,
you,
dude,
dude?
fuck that, dude.
That would
No,
be nuts, man.
no.
That'd be some wild ass
Your
shit, bro.
boy will never play that
Yo, well, shit, you gotta play it right now then before they add him, dude.
game.
It's too funny.
It's funny. I have Dead by Daylight. I've still never played it.
Yeah, it's fine. I only really play it with friends. Like it's
Yeah.
not something I can play on my own because it's just I just can't get into it when I'm alone. But with friends, it's fun. Anyway, there was a state of play for PlayStation. Going back to PlayStation here for The Last of Us Part 2, and it's like a 20-minute video or something. So you know
We'll be
you can
skipping through it. Yeah,
you can like skim through it if you want. I'll be honest, I didn't watch any of it
I haven't either.
because I just don't really care about this game anymore. But I still figured we'd talk about it because I know there's people out there who are interested in it.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen this, I mean, check it out if you're interested in this game. They released the state of play, I believe, on Wednesday, and it's like a 20-minute video on it. So if you know if you're looking forward to this game, then check it out and you know watch it and all that stuff because I'm sure there's a lot in here that you will be interested in.
Yeah.
I mean the game looks good and everything, like graphic wise and everything, but I just for me the story spoilers or leaks that I was spoiled on Twitter, they just do not have me excited for this game anymore.
I feel you.
Personally. So yeah, I don't know how much I'm gonna have to say about this, but I mean I'll give it its props, and like I think that the voice actors are great as always, and I mean the game, like I said, graphic wise and gameplay wise looks pretty fun and good. But I mean, yeah, my issues with it are story wise. If everything that's out there is true, you know. So this is gonna be one of those games that like I'm gonna wait to see how people feel about it, and will I ever play it? Who knows? Because if, like I said, if the stuff is true, then I probably won't play it. But like you know, we'll see.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I still haven't played the first one, and
Yeah, the first one's a good game. I think it's still a little like overrated in my opinion. About in terms of how people like go crazy about that game. But I still think it's a good game.
I'm probably more excited for Ghost than this. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm not invested in this at all, really.
Yeah, I'm more excited for Ghost than like any other game
Yeah.
for me.
Which your boy's still looking for. Everybody sees one out there. Like that. But yeah, that's the state of play for The Last of Us Part 2. If you're interested in the full video, go check it out. It's 20 minutes long on the PlayStation YouTubes.
Yes, check it out and enjoy that. Okie dokes. Moving on from that, Borderlands. 2 Borderlands games are for free in the Epic Games Store this week. Borderlands 2 and Borderlands Pre-Sequel are for free at the Epic Games Store, which replaced Civ 6, which was free last week, and then GTA 5 the week before that. As we know, the Epic Games Store is giving away free games still this year, and they're giving away some pretty good ones. Like I mentioned, GTA 5 and Civ 6, and now Borderlands, the Handsome Collection are just some of many that that they've given away and that they are giving away. So you have until June 4th, I believe. You have until June 4th, which at the time of this recording is 5 days away. So you got some time, but I'd pick it up if you haven't played Borderlands 2, because I think that's a good game. And then the pre-sequel I haven't played, but you know it's another free Borderlands game, so why not, right?
Go get your free stuff, guys. There's no reason
Yeah.
not to get your free stuff.
Get your free games.
Even if you don't like Epic Games, go get your free shit. Do it. Because I damn sure do it.
Right. But yeah, that's all I got for the gaming news this week. Because again, next week we're gonna be hit with a lot of stuff. So
yeah, I got a couple things. First thing I have says Hideo Kojima says Death Stranding was profitable. It recouped its costs, and its profits are secured for his next title. So whatever Hideo's got coming, that'll be interesting. It's kind of funny that Death Stranding was profitable, despite all the shit we gave it.
Well, I mean, there's people out there who like that weird shit.
They're gonna support Kojima no matter what. I'm sure there's probably people that bought that game didn't even play it, just because they like Kojima. But yeah, Kojima is an interesting fella, and I love Metal Gear and all the other stuff he's worked on. So, and I still might check out, Death Stranding when it's like $5 or something like that. Also, some more Kojima stuff, which says he's still in the planning stages for his next title. He also says that recently a big project that he had planned to do apparently fell apart. So yeah, Kojima is gonna Kojima some more games. The next thing is Baldur's Gate 3 had a sizzle reel drop, and it's really loud on Twitter for some reason. Holy shit!
Oh man, yeah, I didn't even know about that one, man.
Yeah, this happened yesterday or the day before. It's just a quick little 40-second teaser, or sizzle reel, I should say. Also, look at that statue falling; it's hilarious.
Holy shit, that cracked me up, dude.
Nah, dude, it's weird. It's really funny.
That is really weird, man.
A lot of this stuff is just basic stuff that we've kind of seen before, really. And if you played Divinity Original Sin 2, you'll definitely see the resemblance. Other than this little stealth part, if I can find it.
Oh man.
I
can't get over. I can't get over that.
No, the statue. I'm like, why would you put that in here? That looks hilarious.
God, that shit was so funny, man.
But I think that's another thing. Here, this little stealth part. It's literally like 2 seconds long, where he's stealthed up here, walking along these
fuck, that's funny.
Boards. But yeah, that's another thing about Larian is they have a sense of humor, and I imagine they probably put it in there for the laughs. Like, we'll watch it again. There it goes. It's so ridiculous. It's so dumb. I love it though. I love it.
Oh shit, that's fucking funny, dude.
I do want to take out a minute and point out this fucking Mind Flayer guy. Look at him. He looks awesome.
Yeah, he's a cool. It's a cool character design, but holy shit, dude. Holy shit, that statue, man. I can't get over that. That's too funny, man.
And this is all leading up to, I think they're going to have a...
Oh, man.
Gather your party and tune in to the Guerrilla Collective show on Saturday, June 6th at 10 a.m. Pacific.
Which we talked about earlier. See that? Look at that, guys.
From Larian Studios. If you want to see more, that will be June 6th. It says 10 Pacific time. Is that what time the Guerrilla Collective is? Or is the time on
earlier? It'll be the times that we talked about earlier were in Pacific. Yeah.
Gotcha. I wanted to make sure that's the correct time on this. Awesome. Moving on. I actually might be able to have. Let me double check. Witcher games have surpassed 50 million total sales, although I don't think we... Let me see if there's anything else from this past week that we want to talk about. Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human are coming to Steam on June 18th. So if you haven't played any of those games and you were interested in them, I'm kind of interested in some of them. They will be
I've
on
played
Steam on June 18th.
I've played Detroit, and that one's it's yeah. I'm like those for me. Those kinds of games are ones that like typically I like would rather watch somebody else play it than play it myself.
Yeah.
But Detroit was free and for PlayStation Plus like a while back, and I picked it up and I streamed it. And it was, it was an interesting game.
Melanie was asking me if I'd played it, and I said no. And she said you should check it out, so I might check it out at some point.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus is going to drop de novo, which is that really shitty DRM in their next update. So they're going to be taking that out of there. Prey from 2017, that's available on GOG now. So if you never played Prey 2017, I recommend it. It's that FPS game that is now on GOG. That's all I got on my end. Yes, it is. Alright. Have I played A Plague's Tale? I have not played A Plague's Tale. I did watch Co play it, though.
Plague Tale, I have played that. That's a good game. I like it.
I watched Co Carnage play it. And it looked cool. It looked like a very cool game.
It is. It really is. It was a good game for sure. I enjoyed it. It was a nice story too, man.
Rats everywhere.
Yeah.
So moving on. Is there much television news this week, my friend?
I only have two things, so we're gonna go through that real quick, but that's fine because we got plenty of other stuff to talk about.
Gotcha.
So the first thing I have here, if we're moving on to TV news,
Yeah, let's hit.
Is that Ronald D. Moore opened up a little bit more about the Star Wars Underworld TV series from like 10 years ago that was supposed to happen. He had an interview with Collider, and so here's what he had to say about some of that, and I'm gonna quote what he said. I was one of the several. There was a bunch of international writers they assembled. We would gather up at Skywalker Ranch once every 6 to 8 weeks, something like that, and we would break stories together. And right after we'd go off and write some drafts and bring them back, and we would sit down and critique them. Then do another draft and break more stories. It was great. It was a ball. It was a lot of fun. It didn't happen ultimately. We wrote, I'd say, somewhere between the 40-something, 48 scripts, something like that. The theory was George wanted to write all the scripts and get them all done, and then he was going to go off and figure out how to produce them. Because he wanted to do a lot of cutting-edge technology stuff with CG and virtual sets and so on. And so he had a whole new thing he wanted to accomplish. And what happened was, he wrote the scripts, and then George said, okay, this is enough for now. And then I'll get back to you. I want to look into all the production things. And then time went by, and like a year or something after that is when he sold Lucasfilm to Disney. And then also, it was an extraordinary undertaking for someone to do. I don't know anyone else that would really take that on. At the time, George said, write them as big as you want and we'll figure it out later. So we really had no budget constraints. We were all experienced television and feature writers, so we all kind of knew what was theoretically possible on a production budget. But we just went, for this pass, okay, let's just take him at his word just to make it crazy and big. And there was lots of action, lots of sets, and huge set pieces. Just much bigger than what you would normally do in a television show. George was thinking about an entire storyline, not the first 48 scripts. Here's another quote. Yeah, I think it was pretty much one big storyline. It was one long tale with episodic things that would happen. There would be certain events that would happen in an episode or this episode. So it was sort of an episodic quality to some of it, but it was telling a larger narrative in terms of the story of those particular characters in that setting. So yeah, man, George is always he always wanted to push the technology forward even more. He wanted to do it, as he did it for film. He wanted to do it now for TV, and unfortunately, he never was able to do that. But I think a lot of his ideas and a lot of the things that he wanted to do, they implemented and are now possible nowadays because I'm sure they used a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do back then with stuff now, like in the Mandalorian and whatnot. So it's pretty cool just hearing him talk about this stuff. How he would be like, "Oh yeah, just come up with some scripts and don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later." I'm gonna go see what we can do with this.
Yeah.
And obviously, like a few months, like in January, I think, or yeah, maybe it was January or February or a few months ago, we talked about the like test footage that was released that we saw. Um, so it's cool that like every once in a while they kind of like talk about this show that never happened that was supposed to happen. Um, and they just like bring out more details about how it was gonna be and what it was supposed to be and who was involved and like all that kind of stuff. To me as a Star Wars fan, it's very very interesting to hear about all this stuff. Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's really it's just fascinating stuff hearing about people that were involved in it to speak on it. Um,
Yeah.
so that is one of the two pieces of TV news I got this week. The other one is that Cobra Kai is closing in on a new streaming home
Yeah.
with YouTube poised to release season 3 sometime soon. So yeah,
It's funny we were talking about this and we're like, where is Cobra Kai at?
right. And
And
then
then
like
this
here we
comes
are
out.
a week later, and like
Yeah.
they're looking for a new home. I feel like Netflix would be a good spot for Cobra Kai to be.
I feel like it fits on there. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
it
feel like
should.
they'd be better off on Netflix instead of
Uh,
YouTube.
Something with more visibility. Because Cobra Kai's great. I love Cobra Kai. Um,
I still have to watch season 2, but I really enjoyed season 1.
I remember going
Uh,
in super, um, very on guard on is this going to be good? And was
yeah,
blown away by how good it actually is. If you haven't seen
yeah.
Cobra Kai, check it out. I highly,
It's
highly recommend it.
the people that are working on it are like Karate Kid is like their thing. Like for me, Star Wars is like my Star Wars. Like it's my like favorite thing out of more than anything or whatever.
Hmm.
Like to me, it's the best, right? Like to the people working on Cobra Kai, Karate Kid was their Star Wars, so like
Yeah,
they they know what they're doing over there because they're huge fans of it. They respect it. They love it. They you know and they're doing a great job over there, man.
yeah,
Everything I've heard about this show has been you know like nothing but good things. The people I've seen interviews with those guys that are like showrunners and on like other podcasts and stuff, and they yeah man they're very passionate about this show, and they have a plan for like they have like a set number of seasons that they want to do. I think it's like 6 or something. um I may be wrong about that, but they have a plan for the show, so
yeah.
they know what they're doing.
Cobra Kai, Cobra Kai.
And again, I got to catch up with season 2 before the new season 3 comes out, so that so
It
that Josh and I
actually
can talk about it.
uh, Deadline has an article about this, by the way. Is that where you got this from?
Yeah, I was looking at the Deadline article.
Um, it says on the short list they're looking at Netflix and Hulu
Mm.
as well, and they're talking about getting the other seasons on there as well as season 3. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
that would make sense. Yeah,
Um,
that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think Netflix would probably will make the most sense. Although I could see Hulu working out as well.
yeah. Uh, the show's really good. I love it. So
Yeah.
They're really good at cliffhangers too, which everybody knows. I love cliffhangers.
Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it on TV news, man. Like
I
there's
got
I
I
didn't
got
have a whole
three
lot of it.
things.
Go for it.
One isn't even in the television news Reddit. It's on wrestling of all things, and it says this is from oh god, what's the name of the website?
Which one?
That's the thing. There's so many.
Mm.
Um, well, anyway, it's one of the reputable ones. I can't find the fucking name for it right now. I'm sorry. But it says Sonya Deville, who is a wrestler, is pushing for acting roles and is rumored to be considered for the role of Batwoman. I think replacing Ruby Rose. This says in a new series. I think they mean in the CW series. And that is a misunderstanding there. DeVille, who is rep by Anderson Group Public Relations, is attempting to be pushed for more acting roles and is in particular being pushed by her agency as rumored to be in the running for the role of Batwoman. So that would be interesting. She is a former MMA fighter. She is a member of the LGBTQ community. One of the first openly gay wrestlers, I believe, in wrestling. So that would be interesting. And she's actually a decent, got some decent charisma. Moving on, the next thing I have is Dark Side of the Ring becomes Vice's TV's highest rated series ever with season 2. For those of you that have watched the podcast a bit, you know I talk about the Dark Side of the Ring a lot, and Daniel's watched a few episodes.
Yeah, I've watched the Chris Benoit ones.
It's a very interesting series. Talks about a lot of the dark side of wrestling, which obviously, Dark Side of the Ring.
Yep.
Yep. And it also talks about some of just the batshit crazy stuff that happens in wrestling, which there's a lot of fucking like, are you serious? This is crazy. How did this even happen? Kind of stuff. And then the last thing I have is Upgrade is getting a TV series sequel, supposedly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Upgrade TV series sequel to Leigh Whannell's sci-fi movie in works at Blumhouse and UCP Writers Room set. This is an article by Deadline as well. I think this is something that just happened a little bit ago.
Well, that's why I didn't have it. That's why I didn't have it on here. Then.
Yeah. I think it's something very, very recent. The series is co-created and executive produced by Whannell and Tim Walsh from Treadstone, who serves as showrunner. Whannell, coming off writing and directing Blumhouse The Invisible Man, is set to direct. Blumhouse Television and UCP are collaborating on the adaptation, which has opened a writer's room. Upgrade, the series picks up a few years after the events of the film and broadens the universe with an evolved version of STEM and a new host, imagining a world in which government repurposes STEM to help curb criminal activity. Upgrade's an interesting movie. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. I know it's one of Jake's favorites.
It is a pretty good movie.
Yeah. So, and that's all I have.
Cool. Well, then we can move on to the movie news.
Let's do it, eh?
All right. So first up, I have David Ayer was talking about how it would be easy to make a director's cut of his Suicide Squad movie. Because, of course, with all the Snyder Cut talk of Justice League, he was saying that it would be pretty easy to make his own as well. So let me quote him here. This is an article from Variety. He says, "My cut would be easy to complete. It would be incredibly cathartic for me. It's exhausting getting your ass kicked for a film that got the Edward Scissorhands treatment. The film I made has never been seen," he wrote on Twitter on Monday. So yeah, it's this is very interesting because I've heard for years as well that the movie that we got to see is not the one that he wanted to make.
Yeah.
Which is pretty evident because, like, I mean, if you watch like some other David Ayer's movies, like Fury, which I think is pretty good,
I love Fury.
like that's a David Ayer movie, and I thought that movie was good. Like I think he would have done a good Suicide Squad movie, but for whatever reason, the people in charge of Suicide Squad wanted to make a fucking music video length feature film. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand why they did the things that they did for Suicide Squad. But yeah, I don't understand it, you know. I don't know why. I mean, I would be down to see it. I kind of hope that they end up doing that. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, why? You know, it doesn't matter now because what's his name? James Gunn's doing the sequel. You know, like why would I care if the movie sucks or whatever?" It's like it sucks because they fucked it up. Like well, here's my thing about all this. All right, this is what I always say every time I hear problems behind the scenes with directors and movies and studios and stuff. It's like, why do these studios and like companies hire these directors to make a movie in their style, but then tell them to not do it in their style? Like, why do you hire somebody for a movie if you want them to do it their way, but then you tell them to do it like to make some other bullshit that they
And
don't
exactly. Yeah, I'd
like
agree with you.
why do they do that?
I
Why
have no
do they do that?
fucking clue. If you're gonna
They
hire
fuck
a
up.
man to do a job, you need to let them do it their fucking way, man. For the most part.
They and the counter argument could be like, oh well, fucking they're the movie the company or the studio is the ones that put up the money and stuff. It's like, dude, like who cares about that? Like, well not who cares, but like, you know what I mean? Like fucking, if you're gonna get somebody to do this job, let them fucking do what they're good at doing. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what you're getting into when you hire them. That's why you hired them.
exactly. Like, why are you trying to change their vision there? And they're like, I don't understand it, man. Like, you gotta let these people do their job, man. Like, I feel like David Ayer's version would have been so much better than what we actually got. You know what I mean? So that's why every time everybody's like, "Oh, it still would have been shitty." Like, how do you know that? You know what I mean? Like the version that he would have made is probably nowhere near. And the thing, the the thing that gets me with that statement that he says is, "It got the Edward Scissorhands treatment." It's like, damn, dude, like it. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I feel like since they're doing the Snyder Cut version for that that they're doing the Snyder Cut for Justice League, they should like do the Ayer cut for Suicide Squad. Cause like just like I feel like if Warner Brothers or whoever whoever the hell is in charge of those movies, like you need to like own up to your mistakes and just rectify the fucked up shit that you did to these guys, which is like not let them make the movies the way they want it to be, and then like fucking give us these fucking disastrous movies that you guys made and fucking do them again properly. If he says that it would be his cut would be easy to complete, like just do it the way he wants to do it, put it on HBO Max or whatever, and like that's it. Like I know it's easier said than done, but like just do it, man. Like do it, DC. Do it Warner Brothers. Like fucking stop fucking these guys over on making these movies, man. Early on, they wanted to like catch up with Marvel and like, do whatever the hell they wanted to do by making all these team up hero movies or whatever, and they messed up. They didn't. The movies that they were doing at the time are not as good as they could have been. Obviously, not as good as some of the more recent DC movies, which have been more of the solo variety. Like Joker last year was one of my favorite movies last year, if not my favorite. You know what I mean? Aquaman, which came out a couple years ago, was pretty good solo movie. Shazam, again last year I think it came out, pretty good movie. So I think they need to just let these guys do what they do if you're gonna hire them. You know what I mean? That's like my big beef and issue with all these studios hiring these guys for not you know, letting them do what they do. But anyway, yeah, hopefully they'll do that with all this popularity of the Snyder Cut and everything going on. Hopefully they'll do David Ayer justice on Suicide Squad. So that's all I got to say about that. Moving on. The Star Wars High Republic era has been put on delay. Originally, we talked about on the podcast that they were supposed to come out with some material for this new era on August 25th with some novels and whatnot, but they've been pushed back until January 2021. So definitely can push back a good number of months there. But you know, with everything going on and all this stuff, they delayed it. They actually put out a little message here, which I will go ahead and read. Always in motion is the future. A quote from Yoda is just as relevant today as it was when The Empire Strikes Back was released 40 years ago. And while it applies to the uncertainty of the future, it also applies to Star Wars The High Republic. Star Wars The High Republic is a massive interconnected cross-publisher initiative that will establish an all-new era of Star Wars storytelling. Set 200 years before the events of the prequel trilogy, this mega story will give readers and Star Wars fans of every age an entry point into the High Republic, in a time of a galactic renaissance when Jedi Knights were at their height. Given these unprecedented times, we have made the decision to move the launch of Star Wars The High Republic to January 2021 to ensure that the launch is as grand and epic as it deserves to be. Now, I know that waiting isn't easy, and I know fans have been excited for this since it was first announced. I'm right there with you. I have been waiting to tell this story for years, and while I still can't say much about it, I can tell you that our story architects, Claudia Gray, Justina Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, Kavan Scott, and Charles Soule, are continuing to work away on this new era of stories. You'll hear from them this summer, and when you do, be sure to ask them about the Hero of Hetzel, the Twins, and the Blade of Berdada, the Staros and Santeca clans, and the Storms. You're not going to believe what they've got in store for the Jedi and the Republic. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I thank you for reading, and I thank you for your understanding and your patience. Star Wars: The High Republic has been a true labor of love for us, and we can't wait for readers to experience the golden age of the Jedi. Until then, and as always, stay strong, stay safe, and may the Force be with you. And this is a message from the creative director at Lucasfilm Publishing, Michael Siglain. So yeah, that stuff has got delayed until January. So originally launching in August, now January 2021. Which I mean, obviously, I was pretty excited about to learn more about that stuff. But I mean, I don't mind waiting. We've been waiting quite a while now, anyway. So it's all good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Moving on, Scott Derrickson has been tapped to direct the Labyrinth sequel. Is going to be a sequel to the 1986 Jim Henson fantasy pick, which obviously had Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie and whatnot. This sequel has been in the works for several years. But now they got Scott Derrickson, which is the director of things like The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Sinister, and of course Doctor Strange. And obviously he was also more recently, it was also known or talked about that he left the Doctor Strange sequel because of creative differences, and now that he'll probably be doing this instead of that. So, pretty interesting. Be honest, I have not seen the original Labyrinth movie.
I still haven't either, and I think it's on.
It's on. Is it on?
I
It should be
think
on
it's
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Right?
Yeah, I was thinking about checking it out, but I haven't yet. So I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. That's one of those old movies that I just that like I've been meaning to watch, but I just when I was younger, that was just one of those things that I just was not didn't.
Yeah, it was one of those that kind of passed me by.
Yeah, exactly.
But people praise it, and I keep meaning to watch it.
Same. That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm sure you'll do a good job. Scott Derrickson's a good director. I think he definitely fits into that vein of that kind of movie. So I think it's a good hire for them. But yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really speak too much on it. Something else that's getting a sequel is Sonic the Hedgehog is getting a sequel at Paramount. Now, this is another movie that I haven't seen, but I've heard pretty good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, at least domestically here, it's the highest grossing video game movie of all time.
Yep.
Which, if you had told me about this like a year ago, I wouldn't have believed you.
No, same.
Because I thought this movie was gonna be a dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, it's pretty good. So, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just gotta watch the movie and not be so quick to judge certain things.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I have to.
I respect the people that made that movie though, because they listened to the fans.
For real, exactly. And shout out to the fans for actually going out to watch the movie after they listened to them. You know?
Yeah, so a lot of respect, big respect, as they say. Big respect.
Much respect, yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, that's just another movie that I have to check out, and they're working on. Of course, they were gonna make a sequel if the first one did good. I mean, that's these studios and companies and whatnot are just waiting for movies to do well so they can do sequels, man. It's all about pumping more of them out.
Want the money?
That's why. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the money always, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, like, when they announce movies, sometimes you're like, we're gonna make 7 of these, so you can be real excited. But it's like you gotta make a first. Focus on the good one, or focus on the first one being good, is what I mean.
Everybody makes a movie nowadays to make a franchise. That's what they want. They want a franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
What they should do is stay focused on that first movie, make it super good, and if a franchise happens, it happens. But don't go in thinking, oh, this is gonna be a hit. Oh, we're gonna have 5, 6, 7 movies out of this. Go in thinking like that. That's foolish.
Yeah, precisely. Which is, unfortunately what's happened to some of these other franchises. But anyway, I'm just gonna say it here. Cate Blanchett, which was tapped, or remember we talked about, she was rumored for Lilith in the Borderlands. Confirmed.
Yeah.
She has been confirmed to be Lilith in the Borderlands now.
Ain't no rest for the wicked.
So that is no longer a rumor. It is fact. But yeah, I just want to bring that up real quick. I know we talked about it on the previous podcast, so we're not gonna go too deep into that. But here we go. Here's something else. From Deadline, they have an exclusive report that while there is not a Man of Steel sequel in the works, they're hearing that Henry Cavill is still in talks to reprise his role as Superman in the DC universe.
I hope so. I liked him as Superman.
Yeah, so they're saying that he may not come back in a standalone film, but they're wanting to bring him back in the cape again. But they still want to obviously bring him back, which I think they're stupid. I think they're foolish not to do a Man of Steel 2, because Man of Steel 1 was fantastic, dude.
I liked it.
I think Man of Steel is a fantastic. I think to me it still is my favorite of the DCU movies.
And I
in
really
my
like
opinion.
Henry Cavill. So
Yeah, yeah. I think he's a fantastic Superman. Uh, and they're foolish for not having made a second one yet, dude.
he's one
It's
of us,
insane.
man. I love
The
Cavill.
first Man of Steel came out in 2013, and here we are 7 years later, and they haven't done another one, dude. It's kind of mind boggling to me that he's like, yeah, he loves portraying the character too. So it's like I don't know what these guys are. I don't know. I don't understand it, man. Either way, I would be. I they if they can keep him because he's great, man. He is great. He's a great Superman. Uh, so if they can do that, then keep him on board. Keep him in the universe because he likes being the character. He's good at portraying the character. They just have to. I think that for like Justice League and BVS, he kind of wasn't like given the strongest stuff to do. Because like BVS is primarily like it's more of a Batman movie than it is a Superman movie. Which at the time that was the first Batman movie in the universe in that universe. So they wanted to do more with him, but I mean, yeah, dude, like they gotta bring him back, dude. It will be forever. It will forever be a crime if they never bring him back, dude. Like we will have been robbed of that continuation of that character. So
Yep.
I think it is their duty to bring him back, man. They have to. They can't leave that the way it is right now. So that's my opinion. They need to bring him back.
I agree with you. He's one.
And everybody,
He's one of
yeah,
us.
and everybody want. Yeah, he is. Henry Cavill is a
He's a
fucking
gamer.
big old geek, dude. So.
Yeah. PC, bro. Oh Lord.
You gotta bring back Mr. Cavill. The last piece of news that I have here for the day is that Ryan Gosling is going to be the new Wolfman in Universal's monster movie Wolfman. So obviously Universal has been trying for years to make their monster universe happen, and they have done nothing but fail time and time again, man. Remember that shitty Dracula movie with what's his name? Luke Evans, I think. Is that his name?
I think it is.
Yeah, that movie. I never even watched it, but it looked so terrible. And then I watched The Mummy with Tom Cruise, and God, that movie's so bad, dude. I was hoping for it to at least be decent. Nah, man, that movie blows, man. I wanted to like it so bad, but it's just such a bad movie, man. Which sucks because I think that the actress for The Mummy that they got why am I blanking out on her name? So I think it's Sophia. Why am I blanking out on her name? I know her name normally like 100% of the time. Sophia Boutella. Jesus Christ, I remember like right now. Sophia Boutella is pretty good, man. She's been in stuff like Kingsman and Star Trek Beyond and other stuff like that. She's been around in movies here and there. So I think she's a good actress. But yeah, man, they just haven't had much success with their monster universe or with their monster movies lately. So I mean, hopefully this new Wolfman movie with Ryan Gosling will be better. But I mean, like, I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough to say with how poorly it's been going for them with the monster movies lately. I don't know what they need to do to make these movies like successful, but like they're just whatever they're doing right now is clearly not working.
It's crazy too because I grew up watching the old ones, right? Like the old ass black and white, like creature from the lagoon and all that, the Black Lagoon and all that stuff. Like a Wolfman, the old school Wolfman, old school Dracula, Frankenstein, all those old ass movies. I remember growing up and watching them in black and white and loving them. Loved them as a kid. What are they trying to do to them now that's making them bad? Like,
who knows, dude? Like, I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing over there, man.
What they need to do is take a hard look at the classics, in my opinion, and then come back to drawing board. Look, I'm not saying you gotta do a straight up remake or nothing like that. I'm saying watch those movies, find out what made them fun to watch, what made them popular, what made them have billions of sequels and crossovers like they did back in the day. Pick out those elements and then make a whole new movie based on the things that worked and getting rid of the things that don't. And I think you will have a hit.
That's some pretty solid advice, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Also, we should have a old classic rewatch one day of all those old.
Dude, you gotta do rewatches of everything, man. There's
so
too
true.
much out there. I'm always trying to balance rewatching old stuff and watching new things.
We'll throw it on one of the retros while we watch the original Wolfman.
It's a struggle, but yeah, hey man, yeah, that'd be interesting.
How about we could talk about it on here?
Yeah, man. But anyway, that's all I got for movie news.
Yeah, I don't got shit. I ain't got shit.
All right.
We can move into our main topic.
The main topic is here,
which is games that we want remade.
Yes-siree. So this is gonna be a fun one because I've been pretty excited about this one because I'm very curious to see what Josh has on his list. I'm gonna be honest here. I have 10 things on my list, in addition to another. I have 10. Okay, so here we go. I have 10. So I have a total of 20.
Oh, I got you.
But I split them into 10 and 10. 10 games that I have played that I want remade, and 10 games that I have not played that I want remade, so that I will play them because I never played them when they first came out. So that's kind of how I have mine. What's your stuff looking like?
We can kind
of figure out how we're gonna do this.
I have 13 things total. They're all things I played and all things that I want remade. So
okay.
And when I say 13 total, I mean like 3 of those are honorable mentions and then 10 are like the main.
No, yeah, I get you. Yeah, you said I got you. I know what you're saying when you meant total.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But you want to start us off, or we should say that we want a straight up remake. We don't want remasters. We want remakes.
That is a disclaimer that I was about to say right now too. Rewind. I don't know what I'm saying. When we say games we want remade, we mean remade from the ground up. Like kind of like how they've been doing, kind of like how they recently did Final Fantasy VII. Like that is a completely different game from the original to the new one. Or like how they did, Resident Evil 2 or 3, right? Kind of like that. So that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about our fucking remaster because no remaster. We mean remakes. Completely remade. Anyway, now that disclaimer is out of the way. You want to go first or should I go first? Because I got more than you, but like I don't know how we want to do this, so
I'll go first. What I'm gonna try to do is as we number these off, I'm gonna try to find the old trailers and play them, so people can see what game we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that actually would be a good idea if you could do that.
If I can find them, which I found
for all of our games.
Yeah. So the first one up I have is Syphon Filter. So I don't know how many of you remember Syphon Filter. But it was like it was this. You ran around as an agent and did roles.
Is it like a stealth game?
It's kind of stealthy. I think it's been a while since I played it. It was kind of you have to remember I was a kid when I played this, so stealth. What's that? I run around and shoot everything. Right? But yeah, it had boss fights. It had it was like spy shit. And it had boss fights in it. Like, I remember a fight where you fought a dude with a flamethrower. I want to say they were boss fights. It may have been just the one fight, and this one's sticking in my head like crazy. But there was like a fight where you fought a dude with a flamethrower, and I remember you have to flank around him using these pillars for cover or something, and like shoot the tank. I want to say a few times. Oh my god, he shot down that plane. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen this. Um, um, but yeah, let me get you guys some info. That was the trailer for Syphon Filter. Let me get you the. I'll give you the wiki page that can probably explain this better than I can. Syphon Filter was a third-person shooter action video game series. It was developed by SCE Ben Studios and published by Sony. So this was a PlayStation game. Syphon Filter, the name, got its name from a mysterious biological weapon. The plot of the first game centers on special agents Gabriel Logan and Leon Zing, who are tasked by the United States government to apprehend an international terrorist named Eric Romer. Romer? I think that's how you say it. And I was a big fan of this game. I remember playing it a lot as a kid. I remember you used to go to Best Buy or these places where they'd have demo stations set up, right? Like you have and they still do at my Best Buy anyway, where I work. They have where you can get up and go and play games. And I always remember Syphon Filter being one of the games that they had as a demo, and I bought it and I played it. And it was like a super spy game with stealth action and puzzle solving and a lot of action. And I remember loving the game and having silenced weapons and the story. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember the story that much. I just remember running around shooting fools with a silenced weapon and feeling like a badass.
Hell yeah, man.
So that was my first game. These aren't in any order, by the way. They're just
yeah, no, I get you. Mine aren't in any order either. I just to me, my order is like how I thought of them.
Exact same.
So that's my order. Anyway, all right, cool. So Syphon Filter, yeah, that's a game that I never played, but I definitely have heard about. All right, moving on, we'll go to mine. My first one, which you guys have to know that this one was coming, and I'm just gonna get it out of the way first and foremost. My number one game is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This is my favorite game of all time.
Definitely on my list, by the way.
I mean, come on, dude. Like, this is a given that it was gonna be on there. I've been asking for this game for years.
There's the trailer for it.
Yeah, there's the trailer up on there if you guys can see. If you haven't played it, it is a 2003 RPG game from BioWare. Set 4,000 years before, the movies.
Oh man. Where's my pixels at?
Right? And this game, man, I've already said it's my favorite game of all time. It's got to a lot of people, the combat and stuff is a little outdated and whatnot. But I mean, that's like from my idea for like the remaster is like you could do this, you could do or remake, because we don't want remasters, we want remake. For the remake for this game is like you could do like pretty much exactly what they did for Final Fantasy VII, which is like if you don't like the old combat, you could like do a new combat style, but also like how they did in Final Fantasy VII, give you the option to play the old combat or the new combat. You know what I'm saying? So something like that would be cool. And like the story for this game, I'm not even. I never mess around when I say this, but the story to Knights of the Republic is one of my favorite Star Wars stories ever, like ever. Like more than the movies, more than some of the more than the shows, more than anything. Like this story, these characters, it is some of the greatest Star Wars ever created, and it is truly a crime that this is no longer canon. But regardless of all of that, I think that a remake of this game, even if it's no longer like it doesn't have to be canon, because obviously the game is no longer canon. But if just keep the same exact game, the story, everything, just remake it. Like like honestly, like I'm pretty much just picturing like what they did for Final Fantasy VII. Just do the same thing that they did for this game. You can, like how fucking amazing would this game look fucking like nowadays if it was remade, dude. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Just thinking about going back to Taurus and fucking the Shadowlands of Kashyyyk and oh my god, dude. Fucking the unknown world, fucking Lehan or Rakata Prime is what that planet has too many names, but you know what I'm saying. Like, God, it would be just going into the cantinas and hunting down fucking Tusken Raiders with HK-47 and fucking beating up on some swoop bike thugs with your boy Canderous, and man, it would be phenomenal. This to me, this is like it's one of those games that is one of like my dream games that I would love to see them do again. Like, just every year for E3 when E3 was a thing. Because I mean, who knows if it's still going to be a thing going forward? But every year there'd be those like what do they call those, like the bingo cards or whatever, Josh?
Yeah.
Fucking KOTOR, like they would have either like KOTOR 3 or like a KOTOR remake or remaster or something, right? On those things. And every year I always had hope that they would announce something, even though I knew it wasn't happening. I still like had the slightest bit of hope, you know. But yeah, man, to me, I need this. I would love this if it happened.
I think KOTOR is one of those games that is the game, I should say, not one of those games, is the game that made me fall in love with role-playing games.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely.
So, and made me probably appreciate a game's story more than I did before that.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, just to close out here, so we don't go on too long on one game.
We can talk about KOTOR for an entire show. We could easily.
Yeah, I know, which we did. We did. The second episode of this podcast is literally KOTOR.
Yeah.
But
we could do a follow up.
Yeah, they need to do this, and I listen. I own this game already. I own this game 3 times.
Same.
I would buy it again if they remade it.
I'll buy it another 3 times and give 2 copies away to people.
Yeah, if you're listening out there, whoever has the power to make this happen, if you remake this game, not remaster, remake it for a modern, modern engine, modern graphics, all that stuff, it would be absolutely phenomenal. There's people out there like our friend Katie who have not played the original because it's outdated in her opinion, right? So yeah, man, they have to do it. They have to do it. I could keep on about this game forever, so we're just gonna move on here.
Yeah, I got it.
And go on to Josh's second game. But yeah,
my second game is that I want to be remade. Is Conker's Bad Fur Day. We talked about this. I talked about this last night when we were coming up with different things we were looking at, and I played this game. I really don't even remember how I got started playing this game. I just remember playing it as a youngin', probably younger than you should be playing Conker's Bad Fur Day, to be honest.
Right? Same, dude.
And to be honest, I don't remember playing the single player part of it that much. But what I remember being fond of the most was all the little multiplayer, like game parts they had with it, like fighting the weasels, the weasel dudes, or the teddy war, which I had completely forgotten about until Daniel mentioned it last night. I forgot that was a thing, but I remember it.
Just to briefly interrupt Josh here
No, go for it.
Topic. I have many an hour on this game. I did play the story a lot, I played the multiplayer even more. There was a lot of different little multiplayer game modes. There's the little weasel ones where you like, robbing the I believe it's like robbing a bank or some shit. I don't remember exactly, but there's the weasel one. There's like the raptors versus the caveman dudes one, which is pretty cool. And then there was the war one, which I talked to Josh about, which is like the teddy bears versus the squirrels.
Yep.
And there's a couple other ones, but those are like the main ones, right? And man, this game was absolutely. I couldn't tell you how many hours I have on this, man.
I can't either. I remember playing it so much. It was funny. It was gory as you could be for a game that looks like this. It was just super pixely and old.
There's a lot of stuff that this is not a kid's game.
No, it's not. I remember you could run around with a katana, I think, and just choppy chop things up.
You could chop things in half with a katana. There's a chainsaw where you could like rip motherfuckers
Yeah.
to shreds. Yeah. I don't have this one on my list only because I knew Josh would have it, first of all. And then second of all, I feel like if they would remake it, it would only be an Xbox thing because Rare is a Microsoft property right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I mean, it would be cool, but like I don't have an Xbox, so I would never play,
Mm-hmm.
But no, man.
My hope would be they put it on PC.
Oh yeah, obviously, if they do that, then yeah, I'd be all for it as well. But
because I played just about everything on PC except for like exclusive.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that. There's
oh my god.
And, yeah, man, this game, many an hour on this game.
Oh
dude.
my goodness, look at those! Holy shit! Oh, sorry, that trailer. I was like, Jesus, yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. They show you some stuff in this game.
Yeah, definitely not a kid's game. I played it way before I should have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is absolutely not a kid's game.
Oh my goodness, look at, oh my god.
Yep.
I want to play Conkers now. Let's play Conker.
So if you haven't played Conker's Bad Fur Day, this is some of the stuff you missed out on, man.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a game.
Give me a straight up remake with all the mini games and the little wars and all that and the weasels.
Yeah. They just got to keep everything the same. Just like update it, man. Basically.
Mm-hmm. I would play the shit out of it.
I would too, man. I would too. I that's one of those games that I fucking just spent many a time on, many an hour on.
Yeah, just laughing, cutting up, having.
Loki does bring up a good point about Sea of Thieves being from Rare as well, and it's on PC. I mean, if they remade this game and put it on PC, I would get it in a heartbeat, dude.
Yeah, God, I love Conkers.
Such a good game.
Oh, look at the teddy! I remember fighting that teddy. Fucking scary.
Oh yeah, those guys were tough.
Lord.
Yeah, it's such a the story was fun too, man. I know you said you didn't really play it, but it's definitely.
I played it before I can really remember it. That's the funny part. But yeah, Conker is on list for me. What else? What's your next game, my friend? What's on your next I want this to be remade list?
The next one for me is another Star Wars game.
Oh boy.
I'm just gonna be honest here. My first three are pure Star Wars because that's immediately what comes to my mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the next one that I have here is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, I remember playing this.
So this one I feel like would be super dope if they remade it with like modern I
think this is the
modern
trailer.
engine, modern graphics type thing.
I think I found the trailer.
So this is a game that came out in 2005. It came out before the movie, which think about it, man. They came out with this game before the movie came out, and there's scenes from the movie in this game, and they pretty much kind of spoil the movie in this game. Like this would never happen nowadays. Isn't it like bizarre how like in 15 years so much has changed, dude? Like But yeah, this trailer is the game. This is the game I'm talking about right here. Basically what it is, it's a you play through kind of the movie, by either playing as either Obi-Wan or Anakin. So each mission is
Ah.
like you're playing as Obi-Wan or you're playing as Anakin, and you're fighting like droids and like there's boss fights like you got to deal with Dooku and Grievous and things of that nature, and uh, eventually, when you're playing as Anakin, he falls. Spoiler alert: he falls to the dark side and becomes Vader. So there's a really cool mission that you play with Vader, or Anakin, where you literally go into the Jedi Temple
Mhm.
and you fucking just exterminate Jedi. Like, do you remember
I
the
I
you remember
remember.
the librarian lady from the prequels?
Yep.
Like, she walks into the temple, force pulls her, and stabs her in the chest with a lightsaber. It's like, dude. And then like the mission before that, you're in Palpatine's office and you have to literally fight Mace Windu in a lightsaber duel. But going back to the Jedi Temple one, it's just stuff that we should have seen in the movie that's not in the movie. And like I would have I just it's a shame that we didn't get to see a lot of this stuff, man. Like, talking about movie cuts, where's the 4-hour Revenge of the Sith cut, man? Give me that. Uh but going
I
back to the game though, there's a lot of cool stuff that's in the game that is not in the movie.
remember
That
fighting. You fight Sindralig, I think, in the game.
you fight his apprentice Saraketo first and then Sindralik. And
Yeah.
that is a heck of a mission too, man.
I remember him being tough. He's like
Yeah, he
hard to
is tough.
fight.
He's tough, man. He's the Jedi battle master, dude. So of course he was gonna be tough,
Yeah.
But
I found another
but
trailer. We'll watch it. Talking about.
and
Um.
then oh, and then there's a mission where you play as Vader. You go to Mustafar to exterminate the Separatist Council. So they like expand on the movie and they show you things that were not in the movie, man. It's like, God, it makes me sad because we didn't get to see that stuff in the movie.
Mhm.
But like, it's so cool seeing it like in the game and actually playing through it. And then one other thing is that they have an alternate ending to this game
Yep.
where like if you defeat Vader with Obi-Wan, then you replay the same level as Vader, and then you have to kill Obi-Wan on Mustafar.
Mhm.
When you do, the cutscene is something, man. Like it is. Oh man, oh my god, this trailer! I remember it so bad from
Yeah.
back in the
No.
day.
I remember the little flip, the little spinny slash he
Damn.
does right
Yeah,
there right before the
that
title.
little that little that little like last
R-
yeah that little
right
thing he
here.
did there. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
that thing right there, I remember so vividly, man, from
I
like 15,
remember it.
15 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
God damn, fucking nostalgia. Anyway, uh, there's an alternate ending, which is like it changes all of Star Wars, like if that would have happened.
Mhm.
But it's a really fun, like it's like an how would I describe this game? It's an action game. It's like you just you're basically killing shit mission by mission. But it's super fun. It's one of these like nostalgia games for me, but I would love to see it again uh with modernized, because I think a lot of people would really really enjoy that nowadays. Uh and yeah, they did do an Order 66 in the game where you're playing as Obi-Wan, and then you have to like run away. It's crazy, dude. Like, you forget that like Jedi during Order 66 not only have to fight off the battle droids, or not only the clone troopers, but they have to fight off the battle droids and stuff too, man. Like, you're fighting, you're alone fighting everyone. So that mission when you're Obi-Wan after Order 66, you have to kill clones and droids, and it's some shit, dude.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's a great game, dude. It's a really fun game from 15 years ago that I would love to see again. Um, but yeah, that's second one on my list.
All right. Yeah, I agree with your list. I want that remake.
Oh yeah.
um, the next one that I have will be a no surprise to anybody. It is the movies.
Oh
Uh,
boy, yes sir.
it is impossible to buy this game now. You literally legally cannot buy it. You have to download it from a third-party website because it was made by Lionhead Studios, and which has gone bankrupt. Uh, technically, I think it's owned by Microsoft, but like, there's no way to get your hands on this game now. But the premise of the game is You are building a movie studio, and you make your own movies. Machinima and all that was big and popular during this time, and it's like the tycoon games, kind of. Um, and there were like two ways to play it. You could cheat and like set yourself to have all the money and all the things unlocked, and you could just make movies if you wanted to. And then it had like you go through the different eras of owning a movie studio. So you go from like the black and white days all the way up to like modern CG and all that stuff. Um, I would love a remake of this because we made so many. You can make so many of your cool little stories making movies. Um, I anybody that's seen our troops, which was a little just stupid thing I did randomly for fun in the game. And it ended up becoming the whole thing that everybody, like, we watch it and crack up at it because it's ridiculous.
Troops, the trilogy or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
it's so silly and so much fun. I would love a remake of this. Because I love, like, the sim games and little tycoon games where you own your own little theme park. Um, and as you know, I'm a DM for D&D, so I love telling stories and being able to make movies from the little stories. You can. I like doing it without dialogue because you can. Which you can add, by the way. You can add your own dialogue. You can add your own music and stuff like that, and you could set it to like move with your lips and stuff. So it looks like the characters are actually talking to each other. But I really like doing it without that stuff, just because I like being able to tell a story that you could tell even without sound. You know. Um, and you could do that in the movies. Still waiting on a complete remake. And with love it, love it, love it, love it. Oh yeah, then they had an expansion pack where they had like stunts and effects. Falling down. Oh my goodness, so much fun.
Yeah, this is one of those games that I I didn't play, but like I would watch Josh play, and it's fun to watch, man. Like just seeing like create like your movie studio and like all getting all the actors and everything. It's pretty neat, man. I feel like there would be many people who would love to see a another one of these games. Like I remember if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago there was a Reddit post about somebody saying they should redo the movies, right?
There sure was. So I'm not the only person out there that wants it. There's other people that want it too. Also, make it
Yeah.
super mod compatible. The old one was mod compatible. That's why I had X-wings and Tie Fighters and Millennium Falcon, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, the fucking stormtroopers, everything for troops.
Yeah.
Um, oh my god, I love it. I love it.
It would be a good one. So if you guys are listening out there, if you have the power to make this happen, gotta make it happen, man.
Putting it out into the ether, it's gonna happen.
Gotta make it happen.
Yeah. What do you got next, man?
My next one is my last Star Wars game of the list, and it is Star Wars Galactic
Oh
Battlegrounds,
yeah.
which is the Empire, or no, rewind. It is the Age of Empires 2 style Star Wars RTS game. So here's my thing with this one. This is one of those games. This is like one of my earlier PC games that I used to play a lot of when I was younger. I fucking love this game, man. So the original game was Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, came out in 2001. Then in 2002, they came out with an expansion called Clone Campaigns, which pretty much added all the Attack of the Clone stuff to the game. Um, I adore this game, dude. To this day, I still play it every once in a while because I'm gonna shout out a mod uh called Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds Expanding Fronts, I believe is what it's called.
The
Um,
nostalgia. The
yeah, man.
nostalgia.
I would love if they remade this game, like kind of how like they're doing with Age of Empires, right? Like they're like updating those games.
Mm-hmm.
Do that for this game, but then also add Revenge of the Sith, Clone Wars, Rebels, like all the like Mandalorian, like add all the newer stuff that was not available before, and put it into this and put it into an updated version of this game. People would fucking lose their shit over this, man. I would if they announced a remake with updated content for this game. I would lose my fucking mind if they did that. I would go ape shit. I don't even pre-order games. I'd probably pre-order it, man. So
I'm
yeah,
gonna show some of the expanding fronts.
dude, you should, because they add like a lot of. There's a lot of stuff on there, man. It's let me see if I can get you the. Oh yeah, you found it?
Yeah, that's right. It was right next to it. Or
Okay.
I found a video that says expanding fronts trailer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So basically, they add a bunch of like, look at that, dude. They had like a bunch of Star Destroyers, and they had like stuff that was not in the original game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, the original game was only episode 4, 5, 6, Phantom Menace. Then the expansion they added Attack of the Clones. So anything after 2002 is not in the game. So these guys, they've been working on this mod for like I think since 2012, dude. Like they've been working on it for years. They've made, look at that. They've added like stuff from the sequels. They've added stuff from Clone Wars, from Revenge of the Sith. They've added so much stuff, so many things that you can put like in a scenario editor. I don't know how much you've messed with the scenario editor. And
I missed really back in the day because I like just having big, massive fights.
yeah, so they've added new planets, new like things you can use in the scenario editor, new units. Like I believe they even made like the unit like capacity. Like remember, there was like a certain limit to it, right? They made it so you can have more units on the field now too, and like it's this mod is like one of my favorite mods ever, because it adds so much to a game that I spent so much time on, and it is really cool, man. It is really cool. Like I seriously recommend this mod. Like if you were ever into this game, you got to try it out, because I'm sure there's gonna be something you're gonna have fun with playing this one. It's pretty great, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they recently came out with a new update as well. The last update was May 17th, I believe. So it was not too long ago. So yeah, they it's a really, really fun mod for a really cool game. But yeah, I mean, if they did a remake for Galactic Battlegrounds, I'd lose my shit. I it would be amazing. So again, anyone who has the power out there, you gotta do it, because this game is a classic Star Wars game.
Oh yeah.
And that is my third and final Star Wars game on the list. So don't worry, everyone. You already know that I love Star Wars, but I couldn't make this entire list Star Wars games. I got other stuff. Don't worry about it. I got other stuff. Anyway, that's my number 3.
Y'all ready to go back in time with me to a faraway place?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what year this came out. I wanna
So
see
the year of 1990 something.
1997. With a little old developer called Bungie.
Oh.
Allow me to introduce you guys to Myth, the Fallen Lords. So, I actually, years later, did not realize this was made by Bungie. I just remember playing it as a kid.
Interesting. This is a game that I'll be honest, I never even heard of.
Myth, the Fallen Lords, yes. So this came out in 97. I was 7 years old. I remember going to Comp USA, which, do any of you guys ever remember the stores, Comp USA? I have no idea. I think they're all, like, bankrupt now. Which was, like, where you could go and you could buy computer stuff, like hardware, and also video games. And they had the computer stations set up to play demos, and Myth, the Fallen Lords was one of the demos that I played. Because that's what you do when you're a kid. You're playing the demos. And I had a dad that was a gamer. And specifically, he liked playing games on the PC, even in like the 90s. And Myth of Fallen Lords was one of them, along with Command and Conquer. But the game is like it had like two campaigns, like a good campaign and a bad guy campaign.
Hmm.
And it was like it's kind of like a I want to say real time strategy, and you would pick like this is so pixelated you can't understand at all what's happening. But you have to understand this game was from '97. Um,
97, yeah.
so there's like the undead guys, which is that's them walking out of the water, and they're like killing people, and it's your job to stop them. And you had like dwarfs and other fantasy races to help. So to help you fight. So it was kind of inspired by Command and Conquer and Warcraft and those types of games. And it was made by Bungie, who would later go on to make Halo, which is I didn't realize this was made by Bungie all those years ago. It's crazy. Let me get you guys like some more info on it exactly what because I think this is one of those games where people are like, what the fuck is that? So, Myth the Fallen Lords was a real-time tactics video game. It was developed by Bungie for Microsoft Windows in 1997. Bungie, at the time, Bungie was known primarily as developers of mech games, and Fallen Lords was the first game they had developed and released simultaneously for both PC and Mac. It is the first game in the Myth series, and it also includes a sequel called Myth 2 Soulblighter, which is set 60 years after the first game, which was also developed by Bungie, and they also had a third game that was like a prequel. And the game tells the story of a battle between the forces of light and those of the dark for control of an unnamed mythical land. The dark are led by Balor and a group of lieutenants, the titular the Fallen Lords, whilst the light are led by the Nine, powerful sorcerers known as the Avatara, chief among whom is Alric. The game begins in the 17th year of the war in the West, some 50 years since the rise of Balor, with the forces of light on the brink of defeat, and almost the entire land is under the domain of the dark, with only one major city and a few smaller towns remaining under the control of the light. The plot follows the activities of the Legion, an elite unit in the Army of the Light, as they attempt to turn back the tide and defeat Balor. I just remember playing the shit out of it as a kid, and I'm like, I want it again. I doubt this will ever get remade. I doubt we'll ever see another Myth game, but I'm putting it into the ether.
Yeah, right. Putting it out there.
I want it, please. Nostalgia. I loved it. I don't know if anybody has no idea what the fuck it is, but it is a thing.
Shit, I didn't know about it, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. You know, it looks pretty neat, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty.
Yeah. So it is
cool, man.
Super old.
Hell yeah, man. Good stuff, dude.
What you got next?
My number 4 game is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh shit!
I would love if they remade this game, dude.
Give
it
me
is
two
probably
number
my favorite Grand Theft Auto game of all time. I spent many an hour on this game back in the day. I used to put in all kinds of like cheat codes, and like I'd get like a car and fly it to the highest building in the game. I'd go to the mountains and find Bigfoot, or try to find Bigfoot if he even was in the game. But apart from all that silly shit that I was just talking about, this is a really like fun story, and like this character of CJ, and like it's like, as somebody who like lives in LA, like I you know, of course I'm gonna like this game, because Los Santos is the fictional LA, as we know, because they used it again in GTA 5. But yeah, this is one of those like games that to me would be so cool to see like remade in like in the modern times, you know. Because I mean, this is a 2004 game, so it's not as old as some of these other games that we've talked about, but I mean, like, it's still like it's a PS2 game, you know. So like it's outdated now at this point. It's like I could still play it and probably have fun with it, but like I don't know, man. It would just be like, it would be one of those games that would be so cool to revisit now and to see how it would look with modern, in a modern light, you know.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, who doesn't love a good GTA game, man?
I,
And like to me, those like PS2 era ones, we're talking about like, you know, the three that came like right after each other. Those were all like fantastic, man. And this one to me is my favorite one. Obviously, we all know what kind of game GTA is, so I'm not gonna get into like, oh, this is like this is GTA is this kind of game or
yeah.
whatever. Like either like what kind of game GTA is.
I feel like
So
this is one of the. Isn't this like the first one where it was like, if you ate a lot, you got super fat, and if you worked out a lot, you got
yeah,
super ripped?
yep,
I loved shit like that. I remember thinking that's so cool. You change how you look by what you do in the
yeah,
game.
and then you could like change your hair. Like you could go to the
Yeah.
barbershop. You go to the fucking barbershop. You could have you could be bald, and you get a haircut and be like, oh, I got a full fro now. What's up with that, man? It was fun, man. It was many a good time with playing this game. It's yeah, again, it's another one of those games that I've spent so much time with. I played it a hell of a lot, man.
I played it a
Hell of
ton
a
too.
lot.
All you had to do was
Dude,
follow the damn train, CJ. I mean,
yeah, man, follow the damn train, CJ. But yeah, this would be one of those ones that I would love to see again. And I know that they're gonna be making new games, and they're probably working on GTA 6 or whatever, which it's cool and all, but I just think it would. I don't know if this is ever gonna happen, but I think it would be neat to like see this game again and how to see how an updated version of this game will look. So I love to see it personally.
yeah.
And yeah, that's my number 5.
All right. Who wants to take a trip with me to 1994? Because
Oh
we
boy.
going back, boys.
Oh boy.
If I could find a trailer for this. We're going to the arcades. And here's what we're gonna watch at the arcades, y'all. And here's what I want remade because it's so ridiculous. I want
What
it.
is it? What is it?
Primal Rage.
Oh man.
Who remembers Primal Rage? I remember Primal Rage. It was a fighting game from 1994 where you picked
Yeah, look at that, dude.
like prehistoric characters and they fought each other.
Holy shit. That's something, dude.
I remember. I want a remake of this. I put this purely on here for like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
It had
Holy
finishers.
shit, dude.
It had blood and gore. I love this trailer, by the way. This trailer is so 90s. I was amazed.
I was amazed. That's so good.
Oh, this actually shows them making the fucking fighting moves. That's pretty cool.
That's great, dude. That is like really fucking cool.
Mortal Kombat inspired all this shit, and then Primal
Yeah.
Rage came. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's funny, dude.
I remember going to arcades and playing this. I remember you had a home version for like, oh my god, but I don't remember which system. One of the old systems. You could get Primal Rage and fucking play it. Just dinosaurs fighting, prehistoric characters fighting.
That was fantastic to see, man. That was
We'll go back to 1994. Primal Rage. It's on my list. I want it remade. Make it happen.
You want them to keep those the dinosaurs looking like that or what?
I mean, yeah.
Hell yeah, right?
I mean, make them look good, but yeah. Yeah, for a 1994 game, that looked pretty dope. Actually, I'd still fucking play that shit.
That's great.
Oh goodness, that might be the oldest game on. I think it is.
Probably. I don't know if I have anything that old. I don't know if I have anything that old on here.
In 1994, it was all the rage in the arcades.
Oh boy.
I think that was the game I was talking about when I was like, man, I got a game on here. It's gonna make people go like, what the fuck? is Primal Rage. Oh,
Oh man.
my face hurts. What do you got next, bub?
So my next one is another GTA game, but this time we're going to 2002 with GTA Vice City,
Oh my
baby.
goodness, I love me some Vice City.
So again, very similar to what I was saying with GTA San Andreas. I didn't play this one as much as San Andreas, but I still played a good chunk of it. I just to me the like the allure to having this game remade is again just replaying through the story and just like the 80s vibe of the whole Miami Vice type thing in the 80s is
I ran. We all remember
I
those
ran
trailers.
so far away.
We
Yeah,
all remember those trailers on TV.
I would love to go to play this game again,
Mm-hmm.
looking like as fresh as new games are today nowadays.
Fucking Scarface.
Like, just could you imagine? It would be, oh my god, dude.
Chainsaw, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. Like, just, I mean, to be honest, I would be fine if they like just made GTA 6 take place in in Vice City or yeah, like we
Yeah.
talked about before. But it would also be really cool to see this game remade. So I mean, to be honest, either way, I'd be fine if they just do like a new Grand Theft Auto game that's set in Vice City.
Yeah, I want to go back to
But
Vice City, man.
but if they don't, I'd love to see this a remake of this game because I want to go back to Vice City, uh, but have it look like just imagine like the lighting and the oh man, just thinking about a modern Vice City is
I
just
wanna,
sounds so
I
so
wanna,
good.
I wanna work for old man Tommy Vercetti now, man.
Tommy
Down in his,
Vercetti, man,
yeah, I'd work for him. I want to play the character that works for Tommy.
your boy, dude.
Oh my goodness, that'd be dope. Old man now.
So, like I said, this is a 2002 game, PS2 era. I mentioned it like during the when I was talking about San Andreas a little bit earlier. Is that like these three games that came back to back to back, like GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. I mean, to be honest, all three of these would be cool to see remade. But the ones that I played the most was primarily was San Andreas, then Vice City, and then 3 would be cool. But like personally, that's the one that I spent the least time amount in. But I mean, I'd be down for that one too, honestly.
I don't know if I ever played 3.
But yeah, those three like back to back to back, that three-peat right there of just the PS2 era GTA games. Those would be really cool to see remade.
This also had one of the most frustrating missions in all of any video game ever. The fucking RC helicopter.
Oh god, I
Fuck that mission.
I hated that mission so
Those
much.
controls are so hard.
It was so trash. That mission pissed me off, but the rest of the game was so good, and I don't know. Just again, like I just love to see I love to see the city of Vice City, uh, and the story to this game and just all of it come together in a new, fresh, updated look for this game. Um, yeah, man, come on, Rockstar, give it to us because I'm sure I'm not the only one that would love to see this happen.
Yeah,
And again,
boy.
and again, just to finally end my little talk about this here real quick is that I love if they just like made a new Grand Theft Auto game set in Vice City. Like I'll settle for that. But if not, then come on, man. They got to do this. They got to remake Vice City.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean that's it for me though for this one.
I would love it. I would love to go back to Vice City. I want to be the dude that works for Tommy, and then probably kills him at the end. That's how Vice City. That's how those games go. All right, next on my list is a Lionhead game from the now defunct Lionhead Studios. I've talked about this before. It's called Black and White, and what happens is it opens up with this couple and their child's runs out into the ocean and he's drowning, and they pray for a god to save them, and thus you are born a god. You are the god of a floating hand in the sky, and you pluck their kid out of the water and put him on land, and they start worshiping you, and eventually you you help build up their village. Make sure they have food. You make sure they have wood, and you can perform miracles for them. And eventually, you get a creature that's kind of like a representation of you. And if you're a good god, your hand is nice and good and glowy gold. But if you're an evil god, you go, it turns like this evil demonic red. And your creature also reflects your personal affinity. So if you're good, they look like a good creature. If you look evil, they are a bad creature. And then there's other villages and there's other gods in the world. And that's right, you made miracles by drawing on the land. So you could make a fireball and throw it at people and kill them. You could and here's your creatures. And you could pet them. And they would learn things. They would learn what you taught them. You could teach them to go to the bathroom. You could you could so they don't poop in the village. You could teach them to poop in the farms. If they poop in the farms, they get fertilized and they grow more food. They could become friends with other creatures, and they could also fight other creatures. Like this. There's that cow. He's fighting that tiger right there. Look at that.
What the fuck?
Dude, this game was dope. It looks ridiculous.
What the hell?
It looks ridiculous, but I promise you this game was the shit back in the day.
Oh my god, that's crazy, dude.
I wish it would run on modern systems, because I swear to God, I would play the shit out of it. I would love for this to be remade, and it has a story mode. It has a story mode, and it's got other gods in it, and they have creatures, and you fight their creatures, and you fight them, and you try to convert their villagers to worshiping you. You got to manage your people's needs. I guess it had a multiplayer, but I don't remember this. I don't remember having a multiplayer.
That's something, man.
Why is there a big naked man dancing? I don't remember that. What the shit? They had a sequel that was not as good as the original, called Black and White 2. The world is what you make it. It was just a lot of fun, and I miss it. Very much. Yeah, an advanced Tamagotchi in Pokemon. Exactly. That game came out, by the way, in 2001.
Oh wow.
So, God, I miss it. I miss it so much. I remember playing it so much too. I'm gonna leave this wiki page open and be like, "Is there a way I can play the modern system?"
I mean, from my research, you can't play it without having the old CDs.
I got them somewhere actually. I gotta go dig them out.
No, that's the only way you can play them apparently. So you gotta do it, man.
Or I could wait for the remake that's gonna happen because I put the vibes out there. Go.
Yeah, right.
I wish. I wish. Microsoft does own it, so they own Lionhead.
Right.
What was Lionhead? What you got next?
I'm gonna go with my mech game here.
Oh lord.
Here's a mech game for you guys. This is a PS2 mech game. Initial release of August 29th, 2002. It is a game known as RAD, or Robot Alchemic Drive. It is a video game developed by Sandlot, and it was published by Enix. It was released in Japan and North America. So basically, you control this giant robot called a Mega Knight, and you're basically like humanity's last defense against some like aliens race called the Volgara. And you're not like in the cockpit of the robot, but you're on foot, basically like using the remote control, having to control the robot.
This is
and you kind of have to like switch back and forth between the person and then the robot to play. And it was something, man. It's a game that I didn't play a whole lot of. I wish I could have, but I did play a little bit of it, and I would replay the beginning of it quite a bit. It was just one of those things that like I to me, like, I love to see this. Like, I'd replay the shit out of this if they remade it. Like, I'd love to see an updated version of this.
It's actually it's really hard to find a trailer for this. I'll be honest. All I'm
Yeah,
finding is a lot of like HD'd up.
like, yeah, it's this looks like it. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's a 2002 game, man. It's this is one of the ones that I was like, man, I remember playing some of this, but I wish I would have played the rest of it. And dude, I'd love to go back and replay this if they ever did like a modern version of it. Be awesome.
I like mech games. They don't get a.
Yeah, dude. I'm not like normally super into them,
Yeah.
but man, I'd replay the shit out of I'd play the shit out of this if they ever like did a modern version of it,
Mm-hmm.
an updated version of it. So yeah, I mean, I just this is my let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is my number 7, man. I want it. I'm not super into mech games, but if they did this one, dude, I'd be all over it. Be all over it. It was really fun, just like even just playing the demo. Like I don't like I had like one of those. You remember those old well, I don't know if you remember, but like back in the day when you like get the PlayStation the magazine back in the
Mm-hmm.
early 2000s or whatever, they'd send you like these little demo discs of like stuff that's coming out or whatever, and like I used to play those demo discs a lot, and this game was in that demo disc, and I remember replaying that a whole lot, and yeah, man, I'd love this. I would love to see this game come back because again, normally I'm not huge on the mech games, but I would play the shit out of this one if they remade it. Yeah, demo discs were absolutely the bomb. I used to love them back in the day. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's my number 7, Robot Alchemic Drive, otherwise known as Rad. That game was super rad though.
All right. For my next game, I can't find a trailer for it. I can find tons of people playing it, but I don't want to show their stuff without their permission. The next game I would like to see remade is Rampage World Tour specifically, because I have a lot of nostalgia for it. I wish I could find a trailer. Unfortunately, can't. But that's the way it be. So, Rampage World Tour was released in 1997. It is the second game in the Rampage series. It was developed as an arcade game by Midway. And basically, the game is there's these 3 giant monsters. George, who is a the monkey, I believe, the big giant monkey. Lizzie, the lizard,
which is the lizard,
and Ralph, the wolf.
the werewolf,
Yeah.
wolf. Yeah, that's the werewolf. Yeah, the wolf.
They've been released due to an explosion at Scum Labs facility, and they've grown into giant monsters. And they go around eating people, destroying buildings, and trying not to get destroyed. You picked a monster and you controlled them, and they go around and like try to destroy stuff. This isn't going to be a very long explanation because wasn't a very long game. It was just a lot of fun. And I think it had the arcade version supported up to 3 players. So you could have up to 3 monsters playing with you at the arcades. I would love for this particular version to be remade just because I have so much nostalgia for it. And I loved it very much.
I played through this game a whole lot too on the N64.
Yeah, it came out on multiple systems.
Yeah, it was one of those games that I played a lot of on the Nintendo 64. It was one of my heavy rotation games on that system. So I definitely it's not on my list, but I would, yeah, man, I'd be down for a remake of this as well, dude. Hell yeah, dude.
I think I played it on Nintendo 64, but I also had it on Game Boy Color because I remember going up to my grandmother's and taking my Game Boy and playing it when I spent the night one time. But yeah, hell of a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, man. I'm down. I'm all for this one.
All right, what do you got next?
My next one is Perfect Dark, which is another Nintendo 64 game. This one is another game developed by Rare and owned by obviously Microsoft now, but uh, it was an N64 like a it's an FPS basically.
Yeah, try to find
But you follow the character of Joanna Dark, and there's a campaign. There's some multiplayer stuff, but I don't remember that too much because I mainly played the single player things. But it was kind of like a spiritual successor to GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Um,
What's funny is I never played this game.
yeah, this game was fun, man. I played it a lot on the N64, and I never got like too far into the game, but like I remember playing like the early stuff a lot because I would replay that a whole hell of a lot.
Man, that is super GoldenEye, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was like a spiritual successor to GoldenEye. So I mean, if you were into GoldenEye, Perfect Dark is the game for you.
Pew, pew, pew.
So yeah, man, I would love if they like did a remake of this because I feel like this game, if they like redid it for nowadays, I think it would do pretty well. Because who doesn't want to play a game like this, man? Literally, when I say spiritual successor to GoldenEye, like you could like Josh knew right away. He's like, "Oh, that looks super GoldenEye."
Yeah, no, it so is.
It's a fun game, dude.
The moment they showed her jumping down and the camera went into the back of her head, I was like, "Yep, just like fucking GoldenEye." But yeah, I never played this. I don't know why.
Yeah, man, it's fun. It was one of those the game the plot of the game, which you're wondering if you're wondering like what the hell is this shit going on here? It's set in the year 2023. Against there's like an interstellar war between two alien races, which is why you saw those aliens in the trailer, and the there's like the like typical gray aliens that were like so so like put into pop culture or whatnot, and then the Skadar, which are like the reptilian uh alien race that are they use like a cloaking device or whatever. But it's a pretty cool game, man. I again, I never really got too far, but yeah, man, I would I would play the shit out of this if they redid it, because I feel like it would be pretty perfect for it'd be pretty it's pretty prime for like a remake. This game originally came out in the year 2000, so 20 years ago, on the N64. But yeah, I'd love to see it, man. I would love to see it. They did a remaster like 10 years ago, but it's only a remaster. I'd love to see a remake, which is what we're talking about here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait. The next thing on my list is I have Star Fox 64.
Hell yeah!
I put this on here. I knew Daniel would love it.
Hell yeah!
I actually expected it to be on your list somewhere.
It's not, but well, it's not because like they could just make like a new Star Fox game. Like it's for me, it's like one of those things where like if they made a new game, I would be fine with it if it was like good. For some reason they could never live up to like that old 64 game, man. Like every game they've come out with, to me, has not lived up to the hype of that 64 game. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I'd love if they did a remake of that one, but like I don't know.
I would love a from the ground up remake. Because I remember playing the shit out of it.
This is one of my heavy rotation 64 games, man.
Yep. Do a barrel roll. We all remember it.
Do a barrel roll.
I also remember not being very good at it. I remember getting my ass kicked a lot.
Do the barrel roll.
I think this is like the anniversary edition trailer because I couldn't find a an actual old school trailer. But man, I remember playing the mother effer out of it. I'll tell you that.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I remember always getting stuck on like the what is it? I think it's like a boss fight at the end of the level where you fight like some giant robot thingy, something like that. Something like that. It's been a while since I played Star Fox 64, but I just remember having such fond memories of it as a young lad. And I wanna remake.
I love Star Fox 64, dude. I love Star Fox 64.
I actually find it kind of funny, just while we have a moment here, to talk about how I have quite a few like things that I played on Nintendo, whereas like in the recent years, I've never been like a big Nintendo guy. So,
Right. I mean, that's kind of like same for me though. Like I've never I was super into Nintendo during the 64 GameCube days,
mhm.
but like so after that I wasn't like not like you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like that in like not as much into it as I used to be, but I'm getting like slowly more into Nintendo again
Yeah,
because because I got a Switch now and like I pretty much want them to like remake all like a lot of old 64 and GameCube games from that era. Like I'm glad that they're like putting stuff like Super Mario Sunshine. They're bringing that to the Switch, which I can't wait to play that. That's gonna be fun. And just just things like that yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun going through if they bring back all these old games that because I mean Nintendo does that a lot anyway for like the NES games and like a lot of the SNES and old stuff. They like every time there's a new system, they like keep bringing them back. So I'm like, why wouldn't like come on, man,
hmm
give us some of the 64 GameCube stuff now, man. It's been enough time. Enough time has passed. So I'm ready for it, man. I'm all about it.
What you got next, man?
Next for me is we're sticking with Nintendo because I have Pokemon Stadium.
Oh
Did you ever play
shit!
Pokemon Stadium?
I think I did, but it's been so long.
Ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum,
Ba-dum-bum.
bum, bum, ba-na-na-na-na. Yeah, Pokemon Stadium. There's a Pokemon Stadium 1 and a Pokemon Stadium 2. I uh I played Pokemon Stadium a lot. I used to they had these mini games that you could do that I used to play with a lot with like cousins and family a lot back in the day. That was a fun game, man. To me, that's probably my favorite Pokemon game ever. Uh, along with along with a quick honorable mention, Pokemon Snap, which would be cool too. But uh, we're talking about Pokemon Stadium here in particular. The OG Pokemon Stadium. Pokemon Stadium 2 was fun as well, but Pokemon Stadium 1, uh, N64 game released firstly in Japan and then over here in the States in February of 2000. Um
Here we go.
this ended up becoming one of the 64's best-selling titles. Uh and yeah, man, it was one of those games that like required the transfer pack or the rumble pack or I don't know, I forget what it was, but you know how the
Yeah.
N64 had all that old stuff. And I mean, it's my favorite Pokemon game of all time. It came out at a time when I was like more into Pokemon as well, like
Mm-hmm.
like the late 90s, like 2000 early 2000s type deal. I don't know, it was just a fun Pokemon game, man. Like I think because of this game also my love for Dragonite, which is my favorite Pokemon, started. Like I don't know, I just like a lot of the reason why I like Pokemon is due to not only the anime and you know, the cards, but a lot of it. If I'm gonna focus on a game, it's this game for me. This is like
Yeah.
my Pokemon game that I played back in the day was Stadium. So yeah, man. To me, if they ever did like a remake of this, I would get it for sure because one of my favorite it's a heavy nostalgia game for me. Um, and I mean, yeah, it's you know I'm all about it. So if they ever did it, I'd get it for sure.
Wanna be the very best.
that no one ever was.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's my
Oh,
number.
right. They had little mini games in it.
Yeah, dude, the mini game. I'm telling you, I used those little the stupid like sushi. Yeah, I used to play that one all the time, dude. Like the Ekans one where you throw the snakes over on the fucking the Diglets and yeah, man.
I
Those
forgot about the little mini games.
I used to play those mini games with family and like cousins and shit so much, dude. So much. So much. So yeah, I definitely it's a heavy nostalgia game for myself.
That's cool.
I like how we're just keeping on the Nintendo train here, man.
Yeah, I think I'm about to derail us though.
That's fine. It was just interesting,
Yeah.
like having so many like back to back, you know.
Um. All right. I got one for you. Or maybe I'm not gonna derail us. Look really quick actually, because I actually don't know what this came out on. Oh, this came out on everything. Okay, I got you. Allow me to take you to a time where football and pain became one with NFL Blitz.
I knew that's where you were going. I knew that's what you. As soon as you said the line, I was like, "All right, that's where we're going."
NFL Blitz was so much fun. It was football, but it was also beating the hell out of each other. Let me see if I can find some. I think this is some gameplay of it.
Oh yeah, man.
I got fond memories of when I say NFL Blitz, though, I don't say just when I say Blitz, it's really more of the entire series of Blitz. I want to see come.
Yeah, no, I get you.
I really wanted to make a comeback because it was about it was football, but it was beating the hell out of
I figured you were talking about the whole series because you didn't add like a subtitle onto it or anything. Yeah, I get you.
In some of the later games, you get stupid, crazy like power moves. I want to say, and you get like pile drivers and shit. I just remember having so much fun. Get out of the options menu there. Because oh my god, of course they show the Falcons. I just want to pause for a moment, which is my team, by the way. Up here in the corner, fighting the Buccaneers, still are one of our most hated rivals. I don't know. I just remember in the later games, you could throw out. Yeah, you could throw like big bombs and rockets, and you could just. When you hit somebody, you fucking hit somebody, right? Like it hurt. And in some of the later games, you could literally just beat the shit out of somebody while they were laying on the ground. It was so hilarious. Oh my god, that was me. But yeah, I would love a return to NFL Blitz because it made football fun. And it was a lot different than just fucking Madden every goddamn year. Yeah, I want to return to Blitz. I feel like a lot of people probably remember playing Blitz and some of the not as aged as the first one Blitz games. They also had like the football versions. I mean the baseball versions. I mean. Also.
Yeah,
no.
I remember playing. There's similar like basketball and soccer games that I played. There's like FIFA. There was FIFA Street for the soccer games, and then there was NBA Street for the basketball ones. And man, you could like knock somebody out and then like dunk on them or some some crazy ass shit in those like street games, man.
And I miss them.
Yeah, man. They should make more sports games that are like a little bit more aggressive like that, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it, dude. Like, fucking bring them out, man. So from one sports game to another, because guess what? My next game is also a sports game.
Oh, damn.
Surprisingly, or not surprisingly, but mine is a soccer game. It is FIFA World Cup 2006. So this game is probably never going to get remade because it's specifically about a World Cup that is at this point like 14 years old. It's about a specific event from the past. But this game to me, uh, I hate to say this again, but I have many an hour in this game. I played this game so damn much back in the day, back on the PS2 days. Um, as a huge fan of the sport, uh, man, I would play this game so damn much. The 2006 World Cup to me is like my favorite World Cup of all time, just because that World Cup really got me into the sport,
Mm-hmm.
and I played this game like a hell of a lot. I would. So you know how they have like in sports games, like let me start again. In this particular game, they that in this particular game they obviously you can choose a team and then like make your way to the World Cup, and like you could basically take like one of the shittiest teams in the world and like turn them into a champion, dude.
Mm.
Like like it's like no different from like playing like another like a sport, like let's say like an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
You could take the shittiest team and like it's like a franchise mode, like you know turn them into one of the best teams. Except for like this game, obviously you're only doing it. It's one specific tournament, so you're doing it with like in a year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I just both in real life and in the virtual world, the 2006 FIFA World Cup was one of my favorite things ever, and I have so many fond memories and so much nostalgia playing this game. This is just one of those games that really made me love the sport more. It made me love, these kinds of games more. And yeah, man, it's never gonna get remade. But like, if somebody was like, "Yo, what's a random game you'd like to see remade?" I'm like, fucking FIFA World Cup 2006, man, because
Hell yeah.
I love this game, man.
I
I
can
love
honestly
this.
say I don't even think I've ever picked up a controller when there was a FIFA game on to play it. I've never tried it.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
I love these games, man. Or I used to love them because I mean I haven't bought a FIFA game in like years, but back when this game came out is when I was like super into them. So yeah. But that's my that's my number, what, 9? What number are we on?
I
Yeah.
don't even know. I haven't been counting.
Yeah.
I actually changed my list a minute ago. I took one out. I was like, eh.
Oh, okay.
I only had that in there for Steve. Um, my next game is something we actually mentioned earlier in a segment. But this time I want to see a remake of it, which is Tenchu: Wrath of Heaven.
Mm.
I played the shit out of Tenchu. I think this is technically Tenchu 2, I want to say. And the thing that grabbed me about the game, the very first time I saw it, is this trailer. It has awesome music that I can't play here because it'd probably get claimed. But
Yeah.
it has a moment where we're just gonna watch it. You play, like I said earlier, you played Rikamaru or Ayane, one of two of these ninja assassins. To be honest with you, I don't remember a whole lot about the story. I just remember killing the shit out of people in this game as a fucking badass ninja. And the trailer. I remember this trailer. And Rikamaru there with getting his sword because he's about to go whoop some ass. And this trailer's 3 minutes long, so we're gonna skip. And he's running through the woods. I remember this trailer. I remember this trailer so much because it transitions, and then he's running on this roof as Ayame is fighting another ninja here as they're infiltrating this castle thing. This trailer is what sold me on this game.
It's a pretty cool looking trailer.
Yeah.
And that's some fast ass running too, by the way. Holy shit.
Fucking ninjas.
Yeah, man.
And it has some really cool music that plays, and like it has a cool story moment that happens toward the end of this trailer. You should totally go watch this trailer with sound, by the way, of Tenchu: Wrath of Heaven if you've never seen it, because it's dope. Also, randomly Superman jump into the sky onto this roof, dodging bullets. And then all of a sudden, we're having a boss fight on the roof with this demon dude. Um, I remember this trailer so clearly when I first saw it for Tenchu. Yeah. Look at that. She's standing on top of the fucking thing, and then he's like over there, and he's like knocks it. Oh my goodness. Love this trailer. Then she gets knocked off, and she's about to fall. And then here comes Rikamaru, and he's like, I'm gonna fight you too. I'm gonna give you the play-by-play. He's got a sword up there in the corner. He's holding it up. He's holding it up. Is he gonna strike? Is he gonna save his friend? What's happening? Oh, he cut through the statue. Oh my goodness. And then she falls, right? And the music like hits a crescendo right here. And he's like, I gotta get her. And then he saves her. And that's what sold me on the game. That entire scene is what sold me on this game. And then I played the game and I was like, oh, this is so dope. Oh my goodness. Tenchu, Wrath of Heaven. I want it remade. I'd play the shit out of it if it was remade. We haven't had a good Tenchu game in a while.
It looks cool, man. I never played those games, but yeah, I mean, if they remade it, I'd play the shit out of it.
Honestly, I feel like young you would have loved that game.
Probably, I probably would have if
I feel
was
like grown you would love that game.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I would. Like, I mean, I'm super looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima as my most anticipated game.
Yeah.
You know, I just love that whole vibe and the style of that kind of game. So I mean,
You also
I'm
had
pretty
these
sure I would.
dope ass ninja tools that you could use to kill people. Tenchu, I miss you. What do you got next? I only have 2 games left, by the way.
All right. This is the last one of my like main list, and that is Fable.
Oh shit!
Fable. It's like I think the only Xbox game I have on here, but the Fable for the OG Xbox. I know Josh definitely wants this to happen as well.
I do.
But I would love if they remade the original Fable, because I think that's a pretty damn awesome game.
Another Lionhead game. We've had like 3 Lionhead games on our list
Right?
together.
So pretty much bring Lionhead back and bring, get their games going again. No, but yeah, dude, fucking original Fable. I played it. I played a good portion of it. To be honest, I don't think I ever beat it. But I started it and I really enjoyed what I was playing from it. I know there's sequels that they did, but the only one that I've played is the first one, and I think it would be really cool if they remade this, because this is just one of those games that I could see myself replaying if they they remade it.
I have super nostalgia for this.
Yeah, man, it would be
Chicken Chaser.
Dude, those fucking NPCs were some assholes, huh?
Oh goodness. I got a Fable story. When this game came out, I had pre-ordered it, and I spent all day at GameStop, down over at Buford, which was really far away because we didn't have a GameStop nearby then. I spent the entire day there while the manager was away picking up the copies of Fable. I was there from that morning to that afternoon. The sun was going down when the Fable copies came in. I was the first person. I'd been there all day, and the salesperson was like, I'm getting him first because he's been here all day. And they gave me my copy. I was the first person to get Fable out of that store.
That's pretty cool. I think I remember you telling the story too.
I think I've told that story before. It's one that sticks in my mind because I remember it. Because my mom was with me, because I was a youngin' in them days.
Back in them days.
I miss Fable. I can't tell you how much I miss Fable.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they brought it back, man.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to say on Fable, or?
No, I mean, other than it would be cool to see that happen again. Or to see them bring that back. Because I mean, I love to replay it and then just play it in general. Because again, I never I have it on here because I played some of it, but I didn't play a whole lot of it, So yeah, man, I would love to see it. So give me that Fable.
All right. Let's go back to 1998 once again with a Nintendo 64 game. based on a popular movie franchise of Mission Impossible, the video game.
Damn.
Did you ever play this?
No.
So, there was a Mission Impossible video game, and you literally, I think it had its own stories. I don't remember if it was based on the movies. I'm trying to find a trailer, for this. But you could do all the shit that they did in the movies. Like, you could take on disguises. And it was, here it is. Flip over to these. Yeah, you did this fucking shit. Fucking went down. Fucking, I guess it is based on the movie. Wow, it's been a while since I played this, to be honest. Yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I never played this, man.
Yeah, it wasn't like a, I don't think it wasn't first person, and you had like a dart gun. Oh, and they had the chewing gum that would fucking explode, like the movie. Oh, I don't remember how far I ever got in the story. I don't remember the story that much. But I guess it's based on the movie. But I just remember the first mission where you're all like dressed up as firefighters and shit. And I would love a remake of this.
Mission Impossible.
And like you could also take like people's faces and stuff like they do in the movies. I miss it.
That's cool. Yeah, that's one of those ones that I didn't even know that that was a thing, man.
Yep. It's real. I think that was the last on my main list, and then I have like one honorable mention.
I have like 10 honorable mentions, so
I got you.
I'm just gonna go through mine quickly. So if you want to go ahead and do yours and
all right.
go for it.
Well, let me do my honorable mention really quick, and it is Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. Which I guess was a 64 game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, we really went heavy on the 64, Stephen.
I mean, there was a good era, dude.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't realize that until like I sit here and look at our list.
It's a good era for games, man. 64 days.
So I played the RTS Army Men, but in this game you played Sarge. It was like this kind of buff green army man that was fighting the evil tan army menace, I guess. I can't remember. It's been a while. The invasion. I remember these little cutscenes. Look at them, they're jumping out, they got those little things. I grew up with this game. I just remember playing the shit out of it. Because everybody that was a kid in the 90s probably had plastic army men. And you always imagine the war between the tan menace and your green army dudes, who are obviously the good guys. I mean, they're green. How could they not be the good guys?
Right.
It was just like a fun little arcadey running around shooting bad guys and doing missions game. And this had a couple sequels. There's Sarge. He's the big buff guy.
There he is. He really is buff as fuck.
He is. He's buff. He's buff. And then they got like a Barbie doll chick in the back.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah. That's like Sarge's girl or some shit. I don't remember. It's been a while. When did this come out? I need to look this up.
Oh jeez, I have no idea, man.
We're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on Army Men Sarge's War, but I remember playing it. Or Sarge's Heroes, rather, not Sarge's War. It came out in 1999. Wow, I didn't realize it was that old.
That seems about right.
I remember playing it.
Like late 90s or something.
I remember playing the absolute crap out of it. Yeah, it was a third-person shooter. Player normally controls Sarge, a sergeant in the Green Army, and fights the evil General Plastro. That's right, like Castro. Plastro.
Plastro.
I forgot about that. And the members of the Tan Army. Both armies are named after the usual colors of the toy Army Men. The game storyline is somewhat dark, partly because of General Plastro's killings. I don't remember it being dark, but okay. Oh yeah, there was a Dreamcast version. Oh my god, remember when Dreamcast was a thing?
Yep. I never owned one myself, but I remember playing like some of the old Sonic games and things like that on it. back in the day.
But that's my one honorable mention. What do you got, my man, with your last?
So I got 10 honorable mentions. I'm not gonna go through them in detail because first of all, I've never played any of these. And second of all, there's 10 of them. So I'm just gonna go through them really quickly here, and then that'll be that. So my first honorable mention number one, I have this one on here because I never played it, and there's a sequel coming out. So I would love if they remade this first one so that I could replay it and then do the second one. But I haven't even said what it is. So Beyond Good and Evil.
Ah,
I've never played this game, and there's a second one coming out. I would love if they remade the first Beyond Good and Evil so that I could go back and replay it because I hear it's a pretty good game. It's a 2003 action adventure game by Ubisoft. Came out on the PS2, Xbox, GameCube era. Never played it. It's just one of those ones that I missed out on. And the sequel looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to that. But I really wish that they would remake this one so that I could go back and just play it because it's just one of those ones I missed out on, man.
yeah.
For I was just too busy playing other things like fucking Knights of the Republic and Galactic Battlegrounds and Smash Bros and some of the other stuff that was out back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to play this for the first time.
I never played it either, man.
Because it looks cool, and the sequel looks pretty neat as well. So I'd love to try it out sometime. Especially if they remade it, I know they'd make it look pretty dope.
All right.
Yeah. My next one, I'm gonna try to go through these quickly.
Yeah.
Next one that I have is Silent Hill, PS1 game, if I'm not mistaken. It's a horror game.
The original.
The original Silent Hill, PlayStation 1. Again, we were talking about this a little bit earlier with Pyramid Head coming to Dead by Daylight. There's not a whole lot I could say on that because I have never played these games or watched the movie or anything. So I'd like to play this because apparently a lot of people like it, and
It was enough to make a mini sequel.
Yeah, and then they have like a million sequels apparently. So it'd be cool if they remade this one, just so I can go back and see what all the hype is for this Pyramid Head and just this first game in general. Because I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even know a whole lot about what this game is.
I don't know a lot about Silent Hill either.
Other than it's a horror game, I just have no idea like what the premise is or anything. So, yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. Other than it'd be cool if they remade it so that I could go back and play it. Next up, I have Prince of Persia and the Sands of Time.
Oh yes.
I would like for them to remake this game so I could go back and play it as well. Because like I played like a little bit of this game, but man, I would like to like start it from the beginning, play it from beginning to end, just all of it. It looks like a really fucking awesome game, and again, I've played like little bits and pieces of it here and there, but I love to. This is like one of those like classic games, man. And again, it came out in 2003. I just missed it because I was playing other stuff, but it'd be cool for them to remake this one. Because Ubisoft, you guys haven't touched Prince of Persia in a while.
Yeah, they really haven't.
If you're not gonna make a new Prince of Persia game, then at least remake this one. Because I'll play the shit out of it, and I know Josh would, and I'm sure plenty of other people would. So, come on, man, you gotta do it. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Get on it, Ubi.
Put the vibes out there.
Yeah. Another one that I have is TimeSplitters. TimeSplitters. So if you guys, I played again very little of this, but not again. I have these on here because I would like to play through them from start to finish because they seem like very interesting games. TimeSplitters is an FPS by Free Radical Design. It's often compared to Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. The game features a time traveling element which enables players to battle in a you can basically like you go back in time and fight battles there, and then I think you can go to the future as well and fight
That's
some
cool.
battles there. So yeah, this would be a fun FPS if they like redid it nowadays, just to see how it would, just to see how it'd be.
I mean, shit, man. In the era where we're getting like the new Dooms, I'd love a new TimeSplitters.
Right? It'd be cool, man. I'd be all for it, man.
Although I've never actually played it.
I've played like very little. That's why it's on here, because I just
The premise is cool as fuck, though.
yeah, it really is, man. Like I fucking and it has kind of like a stylized, like look, like it's more a little cartoony and comic book like than more realistic. So I would think of it kind of like Borderlands esque, but like not really to that extent. But it's stylized, so it's not like super realistic looking or anything, But I mean, yeah, just do a remake of this game, since they're not making another one or whatever. Next up, I have Ape Escape.
Oh,
This is another PS1 era game. That is another game that I used to play a whole lot of on those demo discs that I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Rad. Ape Escape, as you'd imagine, is about little monkeys and apes and whatnot. I mean, look at this trailer, man. Look at that PS1 controller. Jesus. Um, so this is a 1999. There's a lot of like 1999, like 2003, like all these like this period of time, man. There's a lot of these games that like we
good
keep
year.
talking about.
It's a good few years.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'd be all for like another. I'd be all for a remake of this Ape Escape game, man. It's not one that I like. It's not one that I ever like played from start to finish, but I'd be down if they like remade the first one so I can go back and play that, because I'd be for it, man. I mean, there's a PS1 game, and like I remember you playing as like this kid running around with like a net, and you gotta like capture these little monkeys or whatever, and it was
Yeah. Here's
I
a
don't know,
net.
it's like I remember that, like, yeah, so very clearly. He's got like a little lightsaber. I mean, it's not a lightsaber, but he's got like a little pot, like a little energy sword or whatever the fuck they call it in here, and
It looks
like
like a
it
lightsaber.
looks neat, man. Like younger me, like for whatever reason I didn't play this, but I mean I should have. I mean, and I would honestly, I wouldn't mind playing it nowadays. Like again, give me that
Hell
remake.
yeah.
I'll play it. Next up, I have Final Fantasy X, which this out of all the Final Fantasy games, this is the one that's the closest that I've ever come to playing. This game came out in 2001. I remember going to like an uncle's house and playing this game for like maybe 10 minutes on his PS2.
Mhm.
And I was like, something about this game. Like I've never really been a Final Fantasy guy, but something about this game, I don't know why. Like I'd play this one. It's probably because of that like, it's probably because of that like I played a little bit of it that I'd like be willing to go back and play the whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not like you guys know by now that I'm not a Final Fantasy guy. I want to play Final Fantasy 7 because the remake, because that looks fantastic. If they did the same thing that they did for Final Fantasy 7 remake, that if they did that for this one, I'd be all over this one too, because yeah, I mean, out of all the Final Fantasy games, this is the one that I've come the closest to playing. So I don't know why. Something about this game, like, just I'm drawn to it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I could see that happen. Actually.
And yeah, like I'm not really like super into like these like JRPGs or anything like that, but yeah, I don't know. Again, I'd play this one, man. I'd play it. So if they did a remake for this one, I'd get it. I'm that's all I really have to say about it, because I haven't
You're
really
in. Oh yeah.
because I haven't played it. I'm in if they do it though.
I'd probably play it.
Uh, next up is a game called Mercenaries.
Ah.
Playground of Destruction. which was an old LucasArts pandemic game, I believe. I never played this one. I don't know why I didn't. But it's like an open world stealth destruction action. I don't know. It's I never played it, but it always seemed cool to me, and I just for whatever reason I just never played it, man. I don't know why. Being that I was so into LucasArts games because of Star Wars, I don't know why I missed out on this one. But this game came out in 2005. I mean, oh, you know what? 2005. I was too busy playing literally every other LucasArts Star Wars game that came out that year.
Yeah.
2005 was a big year for Star Wars games. They had Republic Commando, KOTOR 2, or actually no, KOTOR 2 was 04. Never mind. Knights of the Republic. No. Rewind. Republic Commando, Episode 3. I'm trying to think of what else, but Lego Star Wars, bunch of other stuff. So I was too busy playing those games, which is probably why I missed out on this one. But yeah, man, I never played this series, and I would play it if they ever did like a remaster or not a remaster, remake. My bad.
I know you don't watch Matt Colville, who is one of the people that has taught us or taught me personally a lot of stuff about D&D. He owns MCDM, and they do D&D related stuff now, although they want to expand out into other things. But he worked on Mercenaries, and I believe Mercenaries 2, and he occasionally talks about it because he's a game developer or a writer as well. I don't remember what he was on Mercenaries though, off the top of my head. But he occasionally tells stories about when they were working on Mercenaries and some of the things that they did and why. Cool. So the fact that you brought up Mercenaries is actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games that I missed that I'd like be so down to play if they ever did a remake of it. You know?
Yeah.
I'd be so down to play this kind of game. It kind of reminds me of like Just Cause and like, I don't know.
Yes. If it's Just Cause, probably before.
All right. I got 3 more, so I'm going to try to get through these real quick. Because I'll be honest, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm trying to get through this.
I actually got to go too.
So I'm going to try to get through these quickly. Another one is Metal Gear Solid, the original MGS.
Yeah.
I have never played the Metal Gear series. Yeah, I know. Yeah, whatever. Say what you want. There's a lot of games I haven't played. And don't tell me, you listener, you don't tell me you haven't played a lot of games that are popular. All right. So yeah, I haven't played Metal Gear Solid game. I was just, I don't know, it just came out of, when did this game even come out? Like 1990, the original. I'm talking about the original Metal Gear. 98. Yeah, no, man. The game wasn't even on my radar in 98, dude.
Yeah. I agree with you on this too, actually. I would like to.
So if they remade this game, I would go back and play it just to see what all the hype is about, like why people love Kojima and like why Solid Snake is such a big deal and all that stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So just playing it from the beginning, because I'm one of those types of guys that like I could play a game without having played the first one, but if I can, I prefer to start a series from the beginning, you know? I'm kind of a completionist in that way.
Yeah, I got you. I'm the same way, actually.
So if I could play a series from the beginning, I would. And this is just one of the series that I missed. So if they did a remake, I'd play it. And then the final 2, another one that I have here is Chrono Trigger. Never played this one. Again, this one I have on here because I'd like to see what all the hype is about this game. Because again, this is one of those games that people talk about like with so much hype and nostalgia and like they love it, right? Chrono. What's the other one? Chrono. I know it's a series. There's
Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Cross, yeah. Chrono Cross. People love Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger. So yeah, Chrono Trigger. I never played. It was just one of those games that just was not on my radar, like ever. So I'd like to, if they ever remake it, or if they ever remade it, I'd like to just try it out for the first time and see what it's all about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the final one that I have on here is Bully. Rockstar game Bully. I never played it myself, but I saw a playthrough of it on YouTube, and I'd like to see them do a remake so that I could play through it myself because it looks really neat. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got here. Those are my honorable mentions.
Right.
I'd like to play all those games if they remade them. Remake these games, people who have the power to do this, do them. We'll play them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our list, guys.
That's it, man. We're done.
Make sure to tweet at us and post in the Clockwork Cantina Discord on Daniel's server.
Yep.
What games you would want remade, like remade, not remastered, but remade completely from the ground up. And let us know what you think of our list. Let us know if we gave you a game that maybe you hadn't seen before and are like, oh, I'm gonna check this out now, even though it's old as shit and I want to.
Yeah.
But that's gonna do it for our show. Let's say our farewells, Daniel.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us today on this episode 40. Yes, 40. This is episode 40 of the Clockwork Cantina. We hit the big 40. It was a fun one. I always like these kinds of stuff where we like go back into older things and bring them up. Like Josh brought up some stuff that I'd never heard of, like fucking Myth, the Fallen Lords, and there's a few things like some of these older games. It's cool like looking back at stuff and being like, man, the nostalgia with some of these games that we have. It's fun to look back sometimes, man. But yeah, for you people out there who have the power to make these things a reality, do it, damn it. Do it. Listen to us.
Yeah, damn it.
We'll play these damn games if you make them. But yeah, and then to you out there watching, thank you for watching on YouTube, or if you're watching live on Twitch. We appreciate you every week for watching these. We have fun doing them. Josh and I have the next few of these planned out, so we're it's gonna be fun. We got a lot of good stuff coming. Coming up, no D&D tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna do another Animal Crossing stream. Other than that, Monday I'm gonna try to continue some more Chimera Squad. And yeah, we'll see here and there. I'm gonna try to get through Chimera Squad, and then I want to hopefully the next story game that I do after Chimera Squad is gonna be Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. So stay tuned for that. I want to get to that ASAP because I want to play a good superhero beat 'em up game, and that's gonna be fun. But yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Thank you again for everything, for all your support as always. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, have a good one. Peace.
All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us this evening, listening to our list. We appreciate you, love you. Thank you very much. Make sure to tweet your list at us or put them in the Discord and let you know. See what you want remade. I want to know what you want, man. And Daniel and I will put our heads together and we'll make it happen because we have that power. Apparently. Coming up, we canceled D&D for tomorrow. We're gonna take a personal day and just kind of. It was gonna be a short game anyway, and I was like, you know what? We'll just go ahead and we were gonna take it off anyway, and then I made the last minute decision not to, and then I've made the last minute decision again to be like, let's just take that day off, and that way I can plan out a longer, more fulfilling game than just we're here for an hour to role play for an hour. I don't want to lock everybody up for that time. I want to give them some freedom and have a day to do some stuff that they want to do on a Sunday that they might not normally do. As for the rest of the week, I don't have any plans. I am still furloughed from my work, so keep an eye out. I haven't streamed a game in a while. I'm not gonna take a break from WoW, but I'm gonna cut back on WoW and probably play some other stuff and maybe might stream those things. So I'll let you know as that happens. Also, make sure to check out Wave Squad over on the Blind Wave YouTube channel, which is a D&D Star Wars 5e game I run for the Blind Wave guys. Go check that out. There's 3 episodes out now. There's episode 4 is up on their Patreon, and a new episode should be dropping tomorrow, I believe. So make sure to keep an eye out for that stuff if Star Wars or D&D, either one, or something that interests you, and you want to see my goofy face roleplay that squad of stormtroopers, Wave Squad, through a bunch of clankers and kill them. That's you can do that. Go check it out. Other than that, that's gonna do it all here from us this evening. Have a good rest of your day. Love each other. Take care of each other. And goodbye.